You don't want to welcome everyone to oh, it is coming back in, we'll give a slight share on the way back in, and we'll give a massive share on the way out. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, today is our sponsor day. First of those receiving players jumpers is Glenville Homes. Glenville Homes have been designing and building quality homes for over 60 years in the northern region of Australia. On the average course of Devon Street, you'll find many people share a similar look, but there's nothing average about Glenville. With over 64 years of expertise and more than 1,000 portfolio, they design and build homes in every style and shape of nature. Indeed, design is in their DNA, which is why their focus on creating homes for your lifestyle, not experience. So whether you select a pre-designed homes, connect to luxury homes, or choose to work with an in-house architect design team on a custom home, you'll find a Glenville home that is anything but ordinary. Let's give Glenville Homes a big shout out. The next on our list of sponsors is the mighty team at Place State. Place Estate Agents was established in 2002 with a clear vision to be Brisbane's best residential real estate agency. Today, Place Estate Agents dominate the Brisbane market with their focus solely dedicated to this city and this suburb here from Graceville to Selma. Place Estate Agents are handling quality technicians who are servicing the local community with offices across the city. So their agents specialise in this city and suburb, intermediate years of experience inside the home. So let's give it up to Place Rachel. And I hope we're all wearing our essential care dental mouth guards when we're flying through to the bottom.
Ever since you left, they're like, wait, Sammy, go. I get lost sometimes.
They not only make customers they offer a comprehensive range of we also do children's and adult orthodontics, including commercial braces and clear aligners. We work on all new patients and their families as well. Let's hear it for Essential Care Dental. And it's in business since 1944. for the Sherwood Magpies. Let's go, boys. Fire up. And today, Peter Carter leads the across Queensland and, of course, around the world. Let's hear the Carter Capital Law. CFMG Capital creates value for investors through active design residential land subdivisions. CFMG residential communities are created aspiring investors, and the CFMG Capital communities are to create offer investors, and offer investors access to real returns and real projects. CFMG Capital operates a series of investment schemes that invest in the development of residential land subdivisions. The goal is to deliver aspirational investors to emerging communities across Australia. Their ability to operate with agility, focus, quality,
Business as per?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's get up. Let's get the tunnel right out under the yoga. Let's run it up now. Let's get it, boys. Lead the way. Let's get him out there. We want to be loud. We want to be proud. Let's run the way. Get the tunnel right out there. Once we see Will Fletcher and his team at the top of the race, I want us to get loud. Let's practice now. What are we going to do, kids? That is garbage. Come on, guys. I want to see Tim McAvoy lead the way here. Let's get loud. Listen to that fire in the change room. These boys are ready for that. They're going to know we're behind us. This country now sees the midfielder right. Riley Easton. Number 5 from the Jabunda Redbacks, Woody Factory, silky smooth, the skills and hard at this contest. Tom Baker. Red from Magpie Wilson, 100 game senior pro, our vice captain, number 6, Luke Mitchell. Rugby Junior, triple Bill Bates medalist, midfield star, and our fearless captain, Will Fletcher, number 9. Number 12, a West Bulldog Junior. This man just typifies class. Skillful, strong, and a true club man. Our under-15s Division 1 coach, Robert Bully. And in number 14, another West Junior, standing at a towering 6'8", a young athletic ruckman, Ethan Harris. In number 15, Sherwood, through and through, a glittering age group career and known for his exquisite skills in pinpoint grassy press. Number 18, managed to track product from the holders of what we hope is a Bruce dynasty here at the looks like the boy next door.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sherwood's home ground here at our Oval. Hopefully I got that pronouncement right. Round 15 QAFL action between the Sherwood Magpies and the Morningside Panthers. My name's Kane Browning. I'm joined in the commentary box this afternoon by Hannah Davies. Welcome, Hannah.
Good afternoon, Kane. Very good occasion here over at Sherwood. There's a huge energy. I'm not sure what the audio is sounding like, but there are a lot of people around here, a lot of juniors. Really big support for this pretty big game for both clubs right now, given the rest of the season that's yet to unfold.
No, you're definitely right there, Hannah. And we've got a bit of background noise at the moment. Sherwood's team has been introduced here this afternoon. It's going to be a real interesting game between these two sides. You've obviously got Morningside, who are right on the borderline in their position on the ladder. They've won 5 games, they've lost 7. They're really in the mix for a final spot in that top 6. They've just got to keep winning games. They've got 5 or 6 games to go this year before finals. They can get 3 or 4 wins on the board, might be able to secure a spot. Sherwood, on the other hand, still looking for their first win of the year. But I tell you, I'm actually predicting an upset this afternoon. Morningside haven't been playing great footy in the last month, and Sherwood has come along in a lot of different ways in their improvement across the year, probably since round 1 or round 2. They've got a number of really interesting key players. Will Fletcher's been playing brilliantly in season 2023. I'm going to have to apologise to him. A number of weeks back, I kept calling him Jasper Fletcher. So sorry for that, Will. You might take it as a compliment, you might take it as an insult.
It's not the worst mix-up to have ever, is
it? Could have been a worse mix-up, so apologies for that to Will. But Morningside have got a number of key players missing as well. No Mitch Robinson, that's a massive loss for them. And it might just even up the contest between these two sides this afternoon. Perfect afternoon for footy though, not a cloud in the sky, bit of a breeze around, probably moving from right to left as players are getting pushed into the position now. Where do you think this game stands, Hannah, this afternoon?
Well, it's a bit of a funny one, round 15, because, Sherwood, no chance of making finals, but if there's a game that, stats-wise, they could get up, it's probably this one. And, as you mentioned before, for Morningside, this one is really important. Their run home is obviously Sherwood now 12th on the ladder, then Noosa in 11th, Mount Gravatt in 10th, and then they hit that top 6 where it's Surfers, Broadbeach and Redland Victoria Point. So there's a lot of pressure on this one for them. This is a game that they can't really drop, but sometimes that pressure particularly, can lead to a bit of complacency. So I think you're right in saying that this could be a bit of an upset.
In saying that, I mean, look, one player I want to keep a real close eye on, young Shaquille McLeod. He had a brilliant afternoon. They did lose the game against Broadbeach a number of weeks back, but he did extremely well up forward. So keep an eye out for him, number 43. As players ready to go here, ball goes up. Umpire's going to call that one back. It looks like we've got Brad Hodge for Morningside in the ruck. He's had a pretty good season himself. Can go back or forward depending on how the game's progressing. Ball gets locked up there. There'll be another ball up.
Umpires brought to you today by Bradnam's Windows and Doors. Big shout out to them for sponsoring our umps today.
We'll mention the umpires a little bit later on as the game progresses here. Another stoppage. Haven't moved too far away from that centre circle. Both ruckmen go up. Looks like some Sam Godfrey's in the ruck for Sherwood as well. Forces another stoppage. Should be a very interesting contest between those two this afternoon in the ruck. Could go a long way to dictate who wins this contest. Ball just rolling around. That was Fletcher trying to get the ball out. Sherwood's got possession, handballs over the head. Pretty brave by the Sherwood player on that occasion. This could be holding the ball, and is. Morningside will be looking to go into attack. Even numbers down the ground here in the Morningside 4 line. Handballs it off. Not great with the handball there on that occasion. Trying to go through the corridor. Morningside out the numbers. Kicks down the line. No one can take the mark. Clean hands. Left foot snap on goal. Isn't going to quite get there, actually, out on the full. That shot on goal was by Adam Peake. And Sherwood will try and come out defence once more.
Last time these two times played was back in round 5 in late April. Morningside beat Sherwood 128-69 at Morningside's home field, the Jack Esplin Oval.
Morningside come down the line here now. Sorry, that's the Magpies. Magpies tipping towards centre forward. That's a good grab. Decides to go down the line to the hot spot. One-on-one contest here. Could get over the back and does. Rolling towards that line. Rolls through for the first score of the afternoon to the Magpies. Magpies 1 point. Leading Morningside.
Not a bad sign early though. I mean, statistically, Sherwood do really struggle to get inside 50.
It's Morningside coming out of defence right now. Decide to go up the corridor. Fletcher's there. Couldn't get hands on the footy though. That's got to be holding the man. Yes, it is. Sherwood's got an opportunity here to go back into attack. Number 54, this is Gardner. Gardner kicks to no one in the end though. Morningside cut that one off easily. Not the cleanest of kicks. Snaps around the body, down the line, gets taken out. That's a free kick down the ground. That's going to go to Riley Easton. Oh, apologies. That's Keegan Downey actually, leading goal kicker for Morningside this year. He's kicked 22 goals. Done a very good job up the ground.
Certainly has, and he's actually tied on goals with Sherwood's Patrick McCarthy, who is out this week. So would have been a great, match-up on opposite sides of the field, but not to beat.
Not the best of kicks going inside forward 50. Here's a chance for Sherwood to switch across the ground. Taking slow and steady approach on that far side. That was Clark. Clark chips up the line. Should be tackled with a footy. Is that holding the ball? No. Umpire decides to throw that one up. Beautiful day for footy here, ladies and gents. If you're just tuning in, not a cloud in the sky, barely a breath of wind. Oh, gets absolutely poleaxed. That had to be head high. A free kick. Comes back into the corridor now. Oh, great tackle laid. No, just lifted slightly high on that occasion. Free kick to Mitchell. Mitchell kicks short inboard.
Morningside's defence just a little touch too late. Bit reactive, and some beautiful passing here from Sherwood.
They're really getting first use of the ball early in this contest, which is a massive plus for them. Morningside's really got to switch on in their defensive patterns because they're finding themselves 5 to 10 metres behind their direct opponent every time. And who have we got here? Connor Bully, and that's 50. Bit of ill discipline on that occasion. Just had a bit of words to say to the umpire, I think.
Yes, certainly not what you want in just first opening minutes of this one.
Field umpires today, Sam Bridges, Kai Pendlebury and William Kennedy. Boundaries, Samuel Peach, Matthew Forsyth, and goal umpires Caleb Fidge and Darcy McGavin. So good luck to those umpiring this afternoon. As Sherwood get the first one on the board. They move to 1-1-7. Morningside yet to score.
Well, that's probably the easiest shot at goal they'll have all day, wouldn't you say?
No, you're definitely right there. It's always good when you're 60 metres out on an angle. Low percentage kick for goal, but you find yourself 5 minutes directly in front. It makes it a lot easier, that's for sure. And Sherwood's got the first one on the board through Connor Bully. Now, Morningside have had a number of occasions where they've got first use out of the middle of the ground, but Sherwood's working extremely hard to try and lock the ball down. Free kick here, though, to Morningside. One of their halfbacks was running off. Didn't give him the handball, though. Sherwood, beautiful pick up there. That was pressed. Trying to come back through the corridor now. Plenty of numbers around this footy. Mark gets cut off through Cole.
Yeah, just a bit of a skill error there. Definitely didn't end up where he was hoping for that to go, and a really nice pick up by Morningside. But speaking of skill errors,
oh, the pressure's on now. Could lock that ball in. Sherwood might add the extra number at this contest. Oh, great effort there by the Morningside backman. Threw himself onto the footy, locked the ball in. That was great effort on that far side. And I believe that was number 25, Declan Willie. Great effort by the big man on that occasion. Just couldn't afford to let the ball out. Sherwood had the extra numbers. They would have been away. Snap kick. Out on the full. This will be a free kick to Morningside. Most of the numbers front of centre going towards the Sherwood goal. Even numbers though, they're all playing one-on-one. You haven't got any spares for either side by the looks of it at this stage, early in the contest. Morningside kicks down the line, cut off once more by the Sherwood defence. Hacks the ball back inside 50. But a good mark taken there. Decides to switch. This is Nyland Rowe. He's had a pretty good season as well. Goes down the line, ends up in the hands of Nelson. He's been a very, very good player for the Morningside Panthers for a number of years now. Kicks down the line, no one can take a mark. Ends up in the hands of the Magpies once more. Could be outnumbered here, could be in trouble. Gets the handball out, snaps around the body. Good luck marking that. Outnumber. Plays the defensive side as a forward. Decide to punch that ball, hits the ground. Numbers with the Panthers though. Handballs back in board, looking for support. Not the best of handballs though, ends up at his feet. And the Magpies look to clear once more. Kicks down the line. That's Knight. Knight right on the boundary line, right in front of us here.
well, the one-on-one defence probably not working for Morningside right now. Just not anywhere near close enough to who they should be marking.
Chips the ball back in board. That was Smith. Ball hits the deck. Ends up in the hands of Sherwood. Decide to go backwards though. That's okay. Ends up in the hands of Gegis. Hopefully I'll get that pronouncement right this afternoon. That's a bit of a tongue twister. Might end up calling him Jesus by the end of this game.
We'll see how he plays first.
Snap on goal. Got smothered. Locks the ball in. Another stoppage. Now, Sherwood's just building that wall across their half-forward line. They're not getting sucked into the contest, so about 2 kicks behind the play at the moment. If that ball gets hacked out by Morningside, he'll be able to just bomb the ball straight back in. Ball rolls over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Well, in some possibly negative statistics, you know, Sherwood typically do struggle to get inside that 50, and they're the lowest goal-scoring team as well.
Morningside, that hack kick has come out. Sherwood should have the numbers here. Handballs back. Chips inside 50. Can't hit a target though. That was a little bit disappointing. Ball's still got a chance. Great tackle laid. That could be on the ball. No. Ball rolls over the line for another boundary throw in.
There's a bit of a silver lining to those stats. They actually, in their defensive skills, sit a lot more in the middle, particularly, you know, their intercept marks and tackles. So, and we've already seen that today, really. You know, their backline has worked really hard at that Morningside.
They're not getting pushed too far up the ground. You know, if you're a halfback or a set halfback, if your direct opponent decides to move further up the ground, it's like, okay, you can go up there. I'm going to hold my position back here. So you've already got that spare behind the footy just in case that long kick comes in and can be easily cut off. And players that can hold their position don't get sucked into the contest nearly as often. You get caught in that no man's land. You don't know whether to go forward or stay back. Morningside trying to cut off the open play there. Another stoppage. There's not a lot between these two sides at the moment. Sherwood's definitely getting first use of the footy though. Good pick up there. Oh, look at the space here. Had plenty, he probably had 40 metres to run into there. Not a Morningside defender. And again, just like I said, they all got sucked into the contest. There was no one holding their position deep inside forward 50. And that was an easy mark in the end to number 18, Will Cruz. Cruz now. Slow and steady. This could be a massive plus for Sherwood if he can kick this one. Look at that for a kick. Straight over the goal umpire's hat. That's goal number 2 for the Sherwood Magpies. They've increased their lead. 2-1-13. Morningside yet to score. And if you're just tuning in, guys, this is not a typo. Sherwood's kicked the first couple of goals of the game. And the Panthers haven't really looked likely to score at this stage in the opening quarter.
No, they haven't at all. Really good signs here from the home team. It's a big day for Sherwood, their big freeze day. You'll see the home side donning their blue socks. So if you are at the club or can get down, definitely make sure you can and make a donation to that cause.
Geez, just avoid that dunk tank. We walked past it before, Hannah. There's no chance I'm going anywhere near that. I lived in Tassie for 7 years. That was cold enough. I don't need the dunking this afternoon, that's for sure. Umpire's going to call that one back.
Yeah, I haven't seen anyone be dunked quite yet. I think that might be a bit of a half-time thing, so potentially
well, better than me, Hannah. You couldn't pay me enough to do that this afternoon. It's a great cause. Another stoppage, plenty of those in this opening quarter. Both ruckmen go up, no clear winner. Ends up in the hands of a Sherwood player though. Chips up forward, couldn't quite reach out to take a mark. That was Austin. Austin trying to defend for Sherwood. Ends up in the hands. Number 56, this is Harry Taylor. Cross half back. Not quite sure where to go. Trying to look through that corridor. Decides to go there now. Couldn't take a mark on that occasion. Ball gets hacked forward towards Sherwood's goal. Again, just a little bit fumbly at the moment, but that's okay. Had a bit of time and space. Decides to come to this broadcast side. That's pressed again. He's had a bit of a footy in this opening quarter. Decides to go down the line. Not quite hitting the target, just over his head. Could get cut off here by Morningside. Rolls towards the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. Panthers players pleading for a deliberate out of bounds. Umpire wasn't going to have it though. Apologies to the people watching. We haven't really got a match clock here this afternoon, so we might be guessing as the game goes on. So not quite sure exactly how far we've gone in this first quarter. Sherwood locked the ball up once more. Two-man tackle. And that's one thing I've noticed too early, Hannah. Their tackling pressure has been really good. Probably, and it's the early stages I know, but it's probably been the best it's been all year, which is a really good start by the Magpies. Speaking of pressure, forces that ball out of bounds on the full. So Sherwood will be going back into attack once more.
Well, you said pressure, and you're certainly right. You know, the next 3 games for Morningside to make finals realistically have to be wins. And you can really feel that here, whereas opposed to Sherwood, they've got Morningside, obviously now, Labrador, Surfers, Broadbeach, Palm Beach and Wilston Grange. So
they've got some solid games in the next month, Sherwood, which big flying attempt to mark there. Nelson couldn't get his hands on the footy. Ball gets held up once more. I think I've lost count already of how many stoppages we've had in this opening quarter, Hannah.
Definitely quite a few on the stat sheet later on.
Had a dozen at this stage. That's holding the man. But it's going to the Panthers though. Coming out of defence once more. They've been pretty slow in coming out of defence so far, which has given Sherwood an opportunity, good opportunity to cut off. That's a better kick to that far side. Panthers now decide to come back aboard. That's a risky kick. Goes over the back. Pressure again gets laid. That's going to be holding the ball. No free kick paid. Look at the tackling pressure from both these sides right now. Decided to try to lay a bump. Couldn't get foot to ball. Dodge, weave, step. Hacks the ball towards half forward. That's a mark. That's better. That's a mark taken by Brad Hodge. Decide to go up forward. Decides to handball it off. Numbers on this broadcast side. Not the best of kicks. Good tackle laid by Sherwood on that occasion. Look at the swarming pack by Sherwood here. Trying to lock this ball in. That could be on the ball. Yes, it is. And like we were saying, Anna, that pressure from Sherwood's been really good in the first quarter.
Yeah, that was just relentless, Kane. I mean, every player then in that back line had a crack at that and just put some pressure on it.
Oh, dangerous kick though, trying to switch across, but they've got the extra number, Sherwood, so that's going to work out. Goes out a little bit wider, ends up in the hands of Mitchell. He's another player who started fairly well this afternoon. Decides to switch across. They've got the extra number out here. That's going to Edwards. Edwards looks to go down the line. Decides to wait for the bounce was Easton. Comes back inside. It's going to get locked up once more. And again, you can be really cute where you're kicking coming out of defence, but sometimes you just got to kick it as long as you possibly can if you haven't got the option inside, because it's the worst part of the ground to turn the ball over. I can go straight to attack the Panthers. Hit a leading target coming forward. Sherwood now. Not the best of kicks once more. Ends up in the hands of the Panthers defence. Towards Hodge. Bad bounce though. Bounces away from him. Again, snap kick, deep inside 50, 1-on-1 contest. Who's going to win this? Kicks off the ground, rolls towards the boundary line. That's the best result for the Panthers. Deep inside the left-hand side forward pocket. 2-1-13 Sherwood, leading the Panthers, yet to score.
I'd love to see, either side really just take more advantage of those wings and that pockets. That middle channel is very congested right now, and it is the quick route, but with the amount of defensive pressure on both sides.
Another stoppage. No, you're definitely right there, Hannah. And both these sides, this year from what I've seen, as a snapshot on goal, minor score. That's the first score for the Panthers this afternoon. They moved to one solitary behind. Trailing. Sherwood 2-1-13. If you can get, these sides are not renowned for their run and spread using the wings that much. They'd love to go up the corridor, like you said, but that's where all the numbers seem to be. So very congested in those areas. If they can find some spare space, and Sherwood's done it on a couple of occasions too. That's a dangerous kick into the middle of the ground, like we were just saying.
They had other men free, but just didn't decide to go there.
Nelson got his hands on the footy, ends up in the hands of, this is McCarthy, probably 55 out, too far out to score, decides to kick to the lead though. All the numbers were Sherwood. That wasn't the best of kicks going inside forward 50 for the Panthers. Gets cut off once more. Kicks down the line. Either a push in the back or a mark. Decides to pay the mark. Gets called to play on. Goes out a little bit wider. That's bettered by the Magpies. Ends up in the hands of Press once more. He's probably had half a dozen touches in the first quarter already. Long kick down the line. Oh, good mark taken there. Decides to quickly try and play on with the handball. No argue. Gets crunched after the kick. Ball rolls over once more. That's a good result by the Magpies. But they're wanting to play on at every opportunity once they're forward of centre, Sherwood, which is a different type of attack from what I've seen in the earlier stages of the season. So if they can move the ball quickly, don't let the Morningside defence set up behind the ball, they might go a long way to winning the game this afternoon.
Well, it's an interesting point you make, 'cause normally I kind of prefer that slow and steady play that, takes advantage of skill accuracy. But you're right, given how intense this contest is, perhaps using that speed is how you can kind of catch them off guard.
And they're not using that in a dangerous spot defensively either. They're moving up the ground a little bit further and then wanting to go quick. So it's definitely well done by the Sherwood Magpies coaching staff this afternoon. They've gone, well, we're going to attack in a different way. There's Morningside now, designed to go down the line. That's a bit of a push, way off the ball. That's not a mark. That was going to get called every day of the week. And guess what? No, I thought he was going to give 50 away there. He chucked the ball back with some vigour, the Sherwood player on that occasion. Ball hit the deck. Morningside now. Slow and steady, moving up forward. Misses the mark, could have been cleaner. And again, could have been a mark as well, not paid. Switches across the ground to that far side, ends up in the hands of number 32 through Cooper.
This is that tempo you were talking about, Kane, and how slow the Sherwood defence are going to take it now. Be interesting to see how far they kind of get before they switch it up a little bit. But you can't fault them really yet. I mean, the back line of...
I mean, you put the moxie on them, Hannah, there, but... And again, it's not... They've turned that over not in the worst position of the ground because they can set up behind the ball. Ball gets pushed inside... fairly shallow inside, attacking 50 for the Panthers. And again, the ball's going to get locked up once more. Umpire comes in, says I'm going to throw that one up. But they're not, again, like I said, they're not getting the ball intercepted, say, right in the corridor or even a centre half back. So it's a little bit further down the line, which does help allowing them to set up behind the footy, gives them a little bit more time. But the numbers around this footy at the moment, Morningside, great smother there, another snap on goal on the last line of defence. Sherwood again defend brilliantly.
We're about 22 minutes into this quarter and Morningside yet to put a major in. Are you a little bit surprised by that, Kane?
Yeah, I am a little bit surprised, Hannah. But again, their slow and steady approach going inside 50 isn't the best one, and it's really hack kicks forward. So they're not kicking the ball with any sort of, what would you call it? Any real meaning. They're just hacking the ball in hope, hoping a Morningside player will end up with it. And Sherwood, on the other hand, are moving the ball quite quickly. And when they do get into attacking position, they're dropping the eyes and hitting the target with the player leading to the ball carrier. So, again, different takes on how to attack. And at the moment, Sherwood are definitely on top.
They've only had a couple of close games so far this season. Lost by 2 points to Palm Beach in round 4 and then by 10 to Surfers Paradise. So in terms of being ahead and having maintaining those close games, haven't been able to do it a lot this season. But could this be when things switch?
No clear winner in that contest. Ends up in the hands of a Sherwood player. Snap on goal. That could roll through. Bouncing. There's another one. Sherwood kicks their third goal of the afternoon.
We built them up, didn't we?
I believe that was Dan Edwards on that occasion. Front and centre.
Goal scorer of the Magpies there, number 22, Dan Edwards.
It's always good when you get a helping hand. We've got the MC behind us this afternoon, ladies and gents. Actually helping us out. It goes a long way. Thank you very much. But, geez, Sherwood, 3-1-19. Morningside, one straight behind, 1 point. 3 goals up at the moment, ladies and gents. Sherwood's had a brilliant first quarter. Morningside really lacking. They're lacking in a number of areas to start this contest. Maybe they showed up, like we spoke pre-game briefly, Hannah, that, oh yeah, we'll show up. We're playing Sherwood. We're going to thump them by 100 points. It'll be easy. And at the moment, Sherwood are going, sorry guys, you're going to have to work a bit harder than that. We're on top. Ends up in the hands of Fletcher. They might go into attack once more. A bit fumbly with that possession, unfortunately. Dives on the footy, gets the handball out. And again, Sherwood attacking the ball really, really well at the moment. They've got the extra number, decides to kick inside the corridor. Ends up in the hands of one of his teammates, gets absolutely poleaxed. No free kick paid though. Ball rolls through. Umpire in a pretty good spot. Will come in and throw that up once more. If they can't win the contest at the moment, Hannah, Sherwood are just locking the ball in. That's got to be a free kick. No, says the umpire. and holding the ball. So they've ended up with the ball anyway. That's probably a bit of karma, to be honest. Sherwood now decide to go long. One-on-one contest in the goal square. No clear winner. Ends up in the hands of the Panthers. Couldn't get clean possession though. They got the extra number. Decide to go out wide. Shocking bounce of the ball there though. Here come the Magpies once more. Handball over the top. Couldn't get clean possession though. Here come the swarming defence. Trying to lock the ball in, the Magpies. That's a great tackle on their half-forward line. Umpire comes in for another stoppage. Couldn't get clean possession of the footy on that occasion. That contest. Kicks around the corner. Ends up in the hands of Davidson. Davidson going through the corridor. I believe this is Mr. Shaquille McLeod. Yes, it is. Not the best of kicks going inside 50. Not the best attempts at marks either. Ball hits the deck in a dangerous spot. Here comes Shaq once more, putting the pressure on. Couldn't lay the tackle though. They've got the overlap now, Morningside. Here we go. They're running through the corridor now. Decide to move the ball quickly. Didn't really need to do that. Going forward. No mark taken. Got the extra number. That's got to be over the shoulder and is. Decides to play on though. Now is that advantage? No, it's not. Umpires decide to call that back. So Morningside pretty lucky. They almost took advantage there. He ended up kicking the ball out on the full. To be honest, I reckon that was advantage. He got clean possession. He decided to play on. Umpire didn't. It wasn't too far after the umpire had blown the whistle for the free kick. But the umpire called it back. So this is probably their best chance they've had, Morningside, to get the first goal of the day for them. Bring back that margin a little bit more to a couple of goals. Comes in now, right foot kick. He's off target though, to the left. That's another behind. That's number 29, that's Ryan Cole.
Unfortunately, time missed. We're about 27 minutes into this first term now.
That's a great kick from full back too. Ends up in the hands. Now, we're actually missing a player, so apologies for that. That's number 3 for Sherwood. Not quite sure who that is. We'll get back to you on that one. Ends up in the hands of Gijis. Gijis, long kick down the line, gets over the back. Got the extra number, Morningside though. Not the best of kicks down the line. Look at the numbers around this ball, and Fletcher with a great mark.
You're right, Kane. I feel like in defence, when Morningside do get the ball, they kind of panic and just put it in the air, hoping to get it out of that zone.
Oh, look at that by a kick for Fletcher.
It's going right into the hands of Sherwood, though, every time.
No, you're right there. That's Glass. Glass goes in board, and again, missed opportunity once more. There were 3 Morningside players surrounding that contest, and hit one of them. Now they're on that far side, Morningside. They had the overlap going. They moved a little bit too slow the last time they did this. Kicks down the line once more, but again, they've got to play. Oh, as the siren goes, we're going to have a kick after the siren. Right on, man on the marks, right on 50. The question is, has he got the length in his legs to kick this? It's going to be a really difficult kick from that spot. We're on that far side boundary just about. Right foot kick. Going. Gets to the line. Bounces through. That could be a goal. It wasn't touched. And it's the first goal of the afternoon for the Panthers. Right on quarter time. That's one of the craziest situations I've seen for a while, Hannah.
Well, it had to happen at some point. The suspense, though, from that goal umpire. I loved the pause he took before putting up the 2 hands. But, you know, that first major from Morningside had to come at some point, and you kind of a bit of a sigh of relief for the visitors to get that on the siren.
Now,
after the siren,
we'll
sorry.
have to get back to you on the number, which number that was who kicked that goal.
MC's not helping us out this time.
We're not getting the MC's help with the Morningside players, unfortunately, so we'll get back to you after quarter time. We'll be back for round 15 QAFL action. Second quarter action, we'll be back in a few moments.
2 goals, 1 behind, 19, lead Morningside, 1 goal, 2 8. for the time today is brought to you by yet another sponsor in U-Box Graceful. Market Clear from U-Box Graceful are here today. Be sure and say good day. There are some good works out there at the classes at the bar, so please go in and take advantage of those. The boxing-based fitness, we want you to conquer your records with their training camp starting now. There's an early bird offer for Sherwood Magpies members. 6-week training camp, an early bird offer for only $249. You must register before July 22nd. The training camp package includes unlimited training. You are $50 off the early bird race. If you're a new member, you receive U-Box gloves and wraps at the value of $90. There is one-on-one coaching every session and free access to the training camp app, including menu plans and shopping lists. There will be benchmark tests to measure your progress, workshops, team challenges, and more. Now make sure that you get along and speak to Market Claire from U-Box Graceful. We're here today with Market Claire. Thank you very much for your support. It's U-Box Graceful. Okay, big freeze time. Who's excited for some dunking? And where? Okay.
Charlie.
All right. At half time, we will be dunking. Yep.
Charlie.
Oh, actually, we're going to do it now. Is she ready?
Josh. Hey, man.
This is our senior women's captain, Abby Ashford. Give it up for her. All to freeze for MND. Here she is. Who's gonna, do we have any young girls ready to hit the handball target? We'll see how good a coach she is, if they can handball it into the target or not. Here we go. It's Libby coming up. We've got to get behind the line. All right, here's the handball. Libby, give it to her. Oh, coach, what are you doing? All right, we've got the next lady up. Oh, and she's down. Abby Ashford, thank you very much. And next up, the guy we would much rather see. Well, there's an extra bag of ice going into this man. This is a guy we'd much rather see out there roving across half-back than clunking intercept parks. But check out the rig. It's Riley Green. Give it up. And Riley Green, ladies and gentlemen. Hope to see him on the park very soon. And he's there. Who's going to dump Riley? Are you there, kids? Oh, and he's hit. That's a missed target. Here we go. Oh, he's down. Check the accuracy of these handballs. Thanks, RG. Give it up for RG. So currently, if you wish to donate, there is a QR code on the whiteboard here in front of me. Please get up and scan that, and please give generously. We have currently raised just over $1,200 for MND, so give yourselves a big clap. And that's all the dunking for right now. We do need a little more to get a few others in there. But thanks to Abby and Riley for jumping up there. Great sports. And let's get behind our Magpies for the second quarter.
We're this way, they're kicking this way.
You wouldn't hit Pringle. This one fucking good side. Turn this way.
No, donate. I can claim that back on charity, thanks.
Me too, I'm a chap.
Charity tax.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 15 QAFL action here this afternoon at Pawanyana Oval. I'm going to have trouble with that all afternoon, so apologies for the pronunciation. My name's Kane Browning. I'm joined by Hannah Davies. And Hannah, what did you think of that first quarter? Sherwood definitely on top in the early stages.
Yeah, they've definitely taken us all a little bit by surprise, I think. You know, we came into this game knowing they were yet to get their first win, and to get the first 3 goals for them has been awesome. And I think what we've noticed is just how methodically they're playing. You know, it's really beautiful footy to watch right now, where that switch between the defence is slow and then their tempo just goes up, and when they get into the attack, they just have been firing it in.
No, you're definitely right there, and we believe it was Shaquille McLeod, number 43 for Morningside, who kicked the first goal for the Panthers right on quarter time. We will double check those facts later on this afternoon just to confirm. As the ball goes up for second quarter action. Gets recalled back though, didn't quite get that bounce right. But at the moment, Morningside just need to get their hands on the footy. They really don't seem to have a method going forward or coming out defence at the moment. It's playing right into the Magpies' hands. As the Magpies defend once more, here come the Panthers though. Rain inside, forward 50, one-on-one contest. Great effort there by the Sherwood defence. And they come out once more with very little pressure getting put on by the Panthers forward group.
Well, the defence, they just had that front space, and it's so hard to get it to go over the body with the height of Sherwood's defence as well.
Ball ends up in the hands of Will Fletcher. Probably leading their best and fairest this year. Unfortunately, gets cut off on that occasion. And again, it's probably the first time they've turned the ball over in a really dangerous spot. Inside defensive 50. Fletcher will be kicking himself for that kick, the way it turned out. Panthers, perfect timing to get their second goal on the board, early stages of the second quarter. Sherwood 3-1-19, leading 1-8. Right foot kick, look at that. Umpire didn't have to move. There's the second one for the Panthers. As they move to 2-2-14, trailing Sherwood 3-1-19. 5 points the difference, and it's turning back into a really close contest with kicking their first goal right on quarter time and kicking the first goal after quarter time.
It took them 29 minutes in that first term, and now it's taken them about a minute and a half, so clearly something has switched there in that last minute.
Now, believe, and I could be wrong, I'm hoping I'm not wrong, was that number 20 from Morningside who kicked that goal? I believe it was across half forward. Again, we'll confirm that a little bit later on. Apologies. I believe that was Godfrey who kicked that one. I'm sure we'll have to double check those at half time. Fletcher ends up with a ball in hand from that contest. Couldn't get clean possession though. Ball gets wrapped up. Now they've got two forwards deep inside 50, and that's it. They've got plenty of open space, so they've definitely come together according to time. Different way to attack. Fletcher got absolutely crunched, but the ball ends up in the hands of his Sherwood teammate anyway. Ends up in the hands of Cruz. Cruz kicks down the line, ball over the back. Pendlebury's there, couldn't get possession of the footy. Ball ends up in the hands of a teammate. Gets intercepted by Sherwood though, snap on goal, one-on-one. No clear winner, numbers are with the Panthers though. Coming out of defence once more. Just about kicks a goal for Sherwood. Umpire said that was right on the line, so no points added to the tally. Ends up in the hands, great mark there taken by Hodge. Hodge handballs it off to a teammate, down the line towards Shaq. Shaq couldn't get clean possession. Yes, he does. Great handball out by, here come the Panthers. Plenty of open space now going inside, attacking 50. Open space. Unfortunately, not quite there on the kick. Had probably more time than he thought. Kick-off line for another behind.
Yeah, definitely would have loved to have seen him bounce that one more time, just steady himself.
That was Harry Taylor.
Probably just got a little bit too excited there.
Geez, the crowd was building, wasn't it, behind that kick, and unfortunately just offline. Sherwood now coming really wide on this kick out. No one can get clean possession. Ball's going to get locked up right on the boundary line here on the broadcast side wing. Probably between wing and half forward for Morningside. As Morningside get possession, gets tackled straight away though. Great tackle laid there. That's Gee once more. He's had a really good start for the Magpies this afternoon. Really lively. Ruckman between crew. Oh, gets hacked off the ground though. I believe that was off the foot of a Sherwood player. So Morningside will come back into attack once more. They're definitely peppering the inside forward 50s start of their second quarter. All of a sudden Sherwood can't get their hands on the footy. 2-on-1 contest. Ball hits the deck. Deep inside 50. Look at the numbers for the Panthers. Look at the numbers for the Magpies defence though. Is that deliberate? No. Ball got pushed over the line. Another boundary throw in. Really dangerous spot here for the Magpies defence. They're going to have to be good to try and hold Morningside out. And again, like we said earlier, look at the setup behind the footy for Morningside. They've got probably an extra number here behind the ball as well, in case the ball gets hacked out. Snap on goal, that could be another one. No, touched off the boot, says the umpire, for another minor score. They moved to 2-3-16.
Momentum's really
2-4-16, my apologies, to 3-1-19.
Momentum's really swung here, Kane. First quarter was just all about Sherwood, and now something's just switched in the minds of Morningside.
Mitchell kicks into the man on the mark. Here's a dangerous spot for the Panthers once more. Snap on goal, left foot. Not quite. Another minor scored to the Panthers. They're peppering the goals in the early stages of the second quarter. Sherwood coming out of defence once more. Sherwood now decide to kick down the line towards Fletcher. Fletcher gets his hands on the footy, instantly gets tackled though. Ball ends up in the hands of the Panthers once more. Kick inside 50, right to the hot spot. Couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Magpies come out of defence once more. Not quite sure where to go. Great kick through that corridor. Handballs it off. They might have the overlap here on that far side wing. Decides not to take a bounce. Kicks towards half forward. That's a shocking kick. Straight over the head of a teammate. Ends up in the hands of the Morningside defence. Kicks the ball around the corner. Ball rolling towards the boundary line. Pleading for a deliberate. No. Decides to throw the ball back in. That was a really good opportunity by the Magpies to go into attack. Couldn't hit the target though. First real chance they've had to go into attack in the second quarter. It's all been Morningside. Ruckman, go up. Morningside, great mark taken there. That's Dads. Had a bit of a quiet start to the game this afternoon. Comes across the ground. Ends up in the hands of Martin. Martin goes forward once more. That's better. Ends up in the hands of Shaquille McLeod, number 43. Now, I did get a rock and Shaquille mixed up before in that first quarter, so I apologise to supporters who were screaming at the TV earlier. But again, I've been really impressed with a couple of goals I've seen from this young man. It's a pretty good kick for goal. Right foot kick. Look at that for a kick. Is that going to hold its line? No. Slams into the post for another minor score to the Panthers. But they're slowly creeping back that lead. It's 1 point the margin now, 2-6-18 to 3-1-19. 1 point the margin in the early stages of the second quarter. Panthers looking for another shot on goal, gets tackled instantly as the umpire comes in for another stoppage.
Unfortunately, this version of Sherwood's probably more similar to what we've seen the rest of the season, you know, really struggling to get it into their own forward 50.
And again, all of a sudden they're hacking the ball forward in hope almost. Gets cut off instantly. That's Hodge again. And again, you just can't hack the ball in like hack the ball away. I know you're under pressure, but sometimes you want that 45 option kick, just that short kick, takes the pressure off. Ball instantly goes back into Morningside's forward line. Sherwood trying to come out of defence once more. That's a dangerous handball. Ends up in the hands of the Panthers. Here they come now. Couldn't get clean possession. Snap on goal. Right foot kick towards Shaq. Shaq, look at that for possession. Could kick a goal. Can he? No. Gets his foot to ball. Ball goes to right angles. Ends up towards Dads. Dads can't get clean possession. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw in.
Well, that was a dangerous spot there, wasn't it, for Sherwood? Did well to fan that one off.
Geez, how lively is McLeod when the ball's on the ground? He's very lively. Couldn't get clean possession. Got the ball on boot. Unfortunately, not in the right angle for a shot on goal. Here come the Magpies now. That's a little bit better coming out of defence. Look at that for a kick. Far side wing. Now it's 1-on-1 down the line. Is he going to go there? No, he decides to come back in board. That's a dangerous kick. Ball hits the deck. Here's a chance for the Panthers to intercept once more. Tackle's laid though.
Just not finding their targets like they were in the first term.
And again, it's okay to come back in board, isn't it? If you've got that free number there. You don't want to be kicking to a 50-50 in such a dangerous position of the ground. Sherwood now coming out of defence once more. Could have been holding the man. No free kick paid. Panthers going inside forward 50 once more. Ball rolling around. Is this going to be another stoppage? Yes, it is. About 45 out from Morningside's goal. Both ruckmen go up. No clean winner on that occasion. Again, ball gets hacked towards the Panthers. Forward.
There's that panic pass again. Still just can't go into the arms of a teammate.
Pendlebury tried to intercept that mark. Couldn't quite. That was a smart attempt at a kick. Couldn't get over the head of Hodge, though. Hodge intercepted. Ball rolling around. This could be holding the ball. Yes, it is. And again, that tackling pressure that we saw in the first quarter from Sherwood, just in the last couple of minutes, has picked up once more. Gets called to play on. Chips the ball. That's not the best of kicks. Look at the numbers here for the Panthers. Plenty of options here. Streaming inside forward 50. Kicks to half forward. Right foot kick towards goal. Is that another one? Yes, it is. That was a great kick. We're just looking to see who kicked that goal. He's running back towards the middle of the ground once more. Unfortunately for the Magpies, Sherwood's got the lead. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Unfortunately for Sherwood, Morningside had the lead. Now we're just looking, trying to identify. He's almost running back to centre half back by the looks of it. That's 33. That's Charlie Cole for the Panthers, I believe. Let's kick that one. It was either Dads or Cole. I'm going to go with Cole. He seemed to be celebrating the most. He might not have kicked too many goals playing across the centre half back line for the Panthers this year. But again, all of a sudden, momentum has definitely switched in the second quarter. The visitors, Morningside 3-6-24, leading Sherwood 3-1-19. Magpies once more get the clearance. Couldn't take the mark on that occasion, just puts the ball on boot towards the half-back line for the Magpies. Magpies now coming out of defence once more. That's a better kick. Could be cut off, though, and is. Here come the Panthers once more. Kicks over his teammate's head. Ends up in the hands of Dads. Dads trying to get the handball off. Got absolutely crunched in the tackle. Umpire decides to call it back. They had the overlap going there, the Magpies, so a little bit unlucky.
A little bit surprised he's not calling dissent here. A lot of hands in the air, and
Dads is almost screaming at the bench going, what was that for? And again, that really nothing kick, but it's going to pay off on this occasion. Ends up in the hands of Radcliffe. Radcliffe has had a pretty good year as well for the Magpies. No clean possession there by Fletcher. Fletcher trying to lay the tackle. Can he be clean here? Gets his hands on the footy, trying to push the ball out. Could get caught, dragging it in. No, umpire decides to come in. I'll throw that other one up, boys. Half-forward line by the Magpies. 5 points the difference here in favour of the visitors. Magpies get foot on ball. There's an interesting bounce right to the goal line. Panthers are going to have to be good to get this one out. Inside out, Torp on the right foot, ends up in the hands of the defence. This is Pendlebury now, hasn't had a lot of the footy in these early stages. Decides to go out wide. They've got a little bit of an overlap going, chips the ball in. That's McCarthy. McCarthy now kicks the ball down the line. Got the extra number here. That was a great cut-off possession. That was Marengo. He's had a really good start to the afternoon as well for the Magpies. Decides to go down the line. They might go a little bit slower at the moment, the Magpies. Just taking a breath like I'm trying to at the moment. Goes down the line. Pendlebury gets up. Bumps the ball over the line for another boundary throw in.
Is that cue for me to chime in here, Kane?
Thank you very much, Hannah. I'll take that.
A little bit exhausted. Well, first three, of course, went to Sherwood, and then next three to Morningside. Sherwood just looking a little bit panicked about it too.
No free kick paid. Crowd went up there looking for something. Sherwood going to attack once more. One-on-one, full forward. No one can take possession of the footy. Morningside right now, they've been better in this department, trying to come out defence. A real kick and hope here. That was a rock. A rock might get it back. No. That's not the best of kicks. Could be on the ball. That's a throw. Not picked up by the umpire. We're right in front of this contest here at the moment. Look at the players just diving on the footy. And another stoppage. Radcliffe once more was in that contest. Locked the ball in. Tried to shepherd the ball off. Hands up in the hands of Fletcher. Fletcher handballs it off. Really trying to work out who this number 3 is, because he's playing a pretty good game this afternoon. And he's coming off the ground for a well-earned rest. Free kick to Morningside. Ends up with Cole. Cole. Ball gets cut off. Dives on the footy though. That could be pushing the back, but I'd say it's holding the ball. Ball rolls out. Another thumping tackle. Geez, they're definitely sticking the tackles both these sides this afternoon. There's not many people breaking tackles in open space. Ruckman go up once more. No clear winner on that occasion. Ball rolling back. Ends up in the hands of Morningside. Ends up in the hands of Fletcher though. Just outside 50. Kicks towards the contest. Now who's holding who? That's a free kick to the Panthers. Good effort there on the last line of defence. Put his body on the line. Here's a chance now to get that overlap run going. Here's Pendlebury. Pendlebury handballs it off. Kicks down the line now, Morningside. Great mark taken there by Lewis, the big fella. Outstretched. And 50. And 50. A little bit of ill discipline. I didn't think the umpire called playing on. Sherwood player just ran up and put the tackle on, and umpire hadn't even called play on yet. So that's a bit of a head explosion by the Sherwood player on that occasion, and sets up another shot on goal for the Panthers.
Can it be their 4th in a row here?
Lewis. Geez, that's a pretty long 50 as well. That's almost more like 60 or 70 by my calculation. Now he's getting put back on the angle because it's ended up in the goal square, so he's directly in front. The big fella, Lewis. Lewis. Surely can't miss from here. Walks in, right foot kick. No mistake. Another goal to the Panthers. They increase the lead. They move to 4-6-30, leading the Magpies 3-1-19. Probably the middle stages of this second quarter.
Okay, and I don't know what Sherwood side we saw in the first quarter, but they're not here in this second. Just all that energy is completely dropped.
And it comes down to work rate in the end. And they've almost switched jumpers from what we saw in the first quarter, Hannah. Morningside are really slow really trying to hack the ball in hope, really, in that opening quarter. And Sherwood really methodical, hitting their targets, lowering the eyes, going inside attacking 50. All of a sudden, it's the complete opposite in the second quarter.
I think Morningside's skill accuracy wasn't there in the first term, and now all of a sudden it's on, and everything's clicking.
No, you're definitely right there, Hannah. As umpire bounce the ball once more, both ruckmen go up, ball hits the deck. Probably Fletcher diving on the footy there. Yes, it is. And again, he's had a pretty good afternoon. Fletcher once more.
And you made a comment in the first term, Kane, that in that first, where we saw them kick 3 in a row, it was because we weren't saying Fletcher's name all day. Now we're back to it, where he's having to work at overtime to kind of make up for the rest. And that's, I think, what we're missing is, to put it nicely, the rest of the team need to lift and put that pressure off
Look
them.
at this. This is Shaq once more. Sorry, Hannah kicks towards goal. Just offline to the right. And again, I am aware he does have a last name in McLeod, but once he gets ball in hand, the excitement meter goes through the roof. And I'm just sticking with Shaq this afternoon. So as the ball comes back out of defence once more for the Magpies, ball rolls over for another boundary throw in. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he's electric, Shaq. So
He's the share of QAFL.
oh, geez, the game against Broadbeach, he was freakish, and he hasn't. And I'm aware he hasn't played a lot of footy. That's a free kick off the ball. Ends up in the hands of Morningside once more. They're going to go back into attack. Decides to go into the pocket. No clear winner.
And that was just silly, holding, just so unnecessary, didn't need to happen. And a free kick.
But in saying that, Mitchell was good to defend that one there. And like you were saying, Hannah, before I had to interrupt you, Fletcher's so dangerous forward of centre. But if he's doing so much defensive work and diving on the footy through stoppage, there's a snap on goal. Is that a goal to Morningside? Yes, it is. They've kicked another one.
Well, geez, that's 5 in a row now for the visitors. And that is certainly enough to flatten this crowd here.
Geez, 5-7. 5-7-37. They've increased that lead. 3-1-19. The Magpies, they're right on top, the Panthers, in this second quarter. And again, geez, we're having a little bit of trouble identifying goal kickers at the moment. So again, apologies. We'll get back to you on that one. It was a real quick rush shot on goal. But again, the Panthers right on top in the second quarter, all over Sherwood. And like I was saying before that shot on goal, if Fletcher's doing so much work at stoppage, almost diving on landmines, you might want to call it, in the midfield, he has zero energy to actually go into attack with any decent foot skills. And he's working behind the footy all the time. So they've really got to come together as a team, the Magpies, try and get back into this contest, because if you're going to rely on one player, you're going to come off second best every time. Both ruckmen go up once more. Again, ends up in the hands of Fletcher, try to get the hack kick out. Ends up in the hands of Radcliffe. Kicks the ball forward, ends up in the hands of Austin. Austin, that's a better kick. That's smarter by the Magpies.
Just threaded the needle there.
Ends up with Knight, but he lowered the eyes. He didn't bomb away on goal to that goal line where Morningside's defence have been pretty well set up. Comes back in board, the 45 kick, hits the target. And Knight is lining up for Sherwood's fourth goal, but the first goal of the second quarter for the Magpies. Knight, left foot kick, drifting across to the left though. Unfortunately, minus score. They move to 3-2-20. Trailing the visitors, 5-7-37. And a perfect opportunity for the Magpies to get one on the board, get some momentum going in the second quarter. Morningside, slow, methodical, coming out of defence. Not quite sure where to go through Nelson. Nelson just bombs the ball towards the boundary line. That could roll over. No. Yes, it does. For a boundary throw-in. Great kick by Nelson, couldn't quite hit the target. And that was McQueen out there. Couldn't get to the drop of the ball. Ball gets thrown up again once more. That's Hodge, who's almost dominating the ruck in the second quarter. Sherwood's got the footy. That's better. Ends up in the hands of Austin once more. You're going to have to go a couple of steps further back, the umpire says. He took about 3 steps forward after he took the mark. Trying to push him a little bit further out. Not quite sure if Austin's got this sort of range. Probably be kicking right on 50. Austin now. Left foot kick. Not quite going to get there. That could be a mark to Sherwood. No mark paid. Trying to dodge. That was Knight once more. Morningside once more coming out defence. But ball ends up in the hands of Fletcher. Fletcher, right foot kick, inside 50. Oh, got absolutely crunched.
Well, Kane, I'm going to say something a bit potentially outrageous here, and I feel that Sherwood are missing a tall key forward in there. I feel like they're lacking in the height a little bit. I was just noticing in the ruck, Isaac Gage is potentially even moving him into that forward position and putting Ethan Harris there, backup ruckman back into that ruck role, because from what I'm seeing, Ethan's having a lot more success, and we've seen Knight kind of here and about for Sherwood, but just height-wise, I just feel like they're struggling.
Yeah, Bully is down there at full forward. It's an interesting contest between those two in the goal square. Bully seems to be okay on the lead, but they're not really giving him that, they're not really kicking to his advantage either. He's a big man. They're chipping the ball to his feet or kicking it a mile over his head. So it's a little bit difficult for the Sherwood full forward. But you're probably right there, Hannah. It might definitely be an option for them to look at half-time.
Well, considering the last 5 have gone to Morningside, it's probably worth switching something up.
No, you definitely, especially forward of the footy, because you're right, they're really lacking that marking target down the line.
And this is where they've, struggled statistically all year. See it again, Morningside just first to it in the air.
Yep. No, you're definitely right, Hannah. Nelson lays the tackle. Had a chance to handball it out. No. Umpire comes in, goes, I'm going to throw that one up. Now, apologies to the Magpie supporters, but I tell you, number 3 is just about their best this afternoon.
And I can tell you, Kane, he's not on the online list either, so unfortunately we are strapped for information.
We're definitely going to have to find out at halftime who that particular player is. He's clearly come in. He wasn't on the emergency list. This is Knight again. Oh, speaking of, look at that. Great clean handball backwards.
Look at the dodge.
Ducking, weaving. That's Mitchell once more. Left foot kick inside 50. No one at home by the Magpies, though. Here's a foot race. Both players, good push off there by the Panthers on that occasion. Comes back in board over the head of Shaq. Shaq couldn't get clean possession. Ends up in the hands of the Magpies once more. On that far side wing. Again, kicks towards Fletcher. That's a little bit better. Fletcher goes quickly. Right foot kick. Look at that for a kick. Ends up in the hands of Knight once more.
Nearly the same spot just moments ago.
Jeez, it definitely makes it easier when you don't have to move. Kick inside 50. That's better by the Magpies.
And that's that target we were talking about, putting it in front and just getting that timing right.
Knight to Austin. And again, it was the only space someone could lead into in the forward 50 for the Magpies. Austin pushed off his man brilliantly, got that initial break, led on to the beautiful kick by Knight inside attacking 50. Austin comes in now, left foot kick. Unfortunately, pushed it out to the right for another minor score. Now, the last 5 minutes, they've been better, the Magpies, in this second quarter. It was all Morningside early on. And again, I believe this is Nelson on the last line defence, coming out of defence once more. Decides to go short. Goes out to that far side. Could be danger for the Panthers, but they're good on that occasion. Kicks down the line, 2-on-1. Mitchell's there. He ends up with a footy now. That's better. Ends up in the hands of Knights. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell kicks to no one, though.
So Mitchell is defending brilliantly, getting the ball, but he's just got no one to give it off to.
And he's kicking to an outnumber, even if there is someone there available for the Magpies. Crunching tackle there. Ball just rolls out. Could be another stoppage. Knight lays the tackle. They've definitely set up better at Morningside behind the footy as well. They're always getting that extra number when the ball hits the deck and they can just ease their way out of defence.
Nearly 29 minutes played here. And Sherwood yet to get a major in this quarter.
3-3-21, trailing Morningside 5-7-37. Still anyone's contest here, 16 points the margin.
Well, they've had a few sniffs at it, just not in the right position yet.
Again, Morningside get clean possession from the contest. Coming down that far side wing, chips the ball really to no one though. The Magpies should be able to get out of this. They're going backwards here though, decides to switch across.
Well, the Magpies backline once again getting them out of danger. But we need the forwards to reward it.
That's right. Radcliffe decides to switch back the other side. Kicks the ball forward. Ends up in the hands of Cooper. Cooper chips the ball forward. That looks like Mitchell out there. And again, all of a sudden this slow, steady coming out of defence could be danger sides for the Magpies.
Well, do they need to, change up the way they're going about it? Because we're seeing such success when they're taking their time here. But it's when they're trying to take Morningside by surprise that are right about this spot here that it's unravelling.
Jeez, and Hodge had a million years to push into that position. He knew exactly where the ball was going to go. Easily cut off there by the big man for the Panthers. This is Nelson. As the siren goes for half-time, the home side trailing 3-3-21 to the Panthers, who were so much better in that second quarter, 5-7-37. We'll be back here for third quarter QAFL action, round 15, Sherwood Magpies versus the Morningside Panthers in a few moments.
My name's James Strybos. I started umpiring at the Jindalee Jags Football Club. I've been going for about 20 years now, and I'm now just becoming an AFL umpire.
So I'm Matthew Young. I've been umpiring for 17 years now. Started at Jindalee Jaguars, also into the QAFL, into the NEFL, VFL, and then finally in the AFL.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I started umpiring at the Aspley Hornets Football Club. I've been umpiring for close to 11 years, and now I'm umpiring AFL football.
I was influenced by my dad. He was running around in Queensland at the time, and then the local footy club at Jindalee wanted some club umpires, so I thought it was a great opportunity to earn a little bit while I could. So I started in club umpiring and then really quickly kind of found myself wanting to get involved in the Brisbane Juniors, so then made my way through that pathway all the way into senior footy up here in Queensland.
So we started playing together back at Jindalee Jaguars, and he had a history of umpiring in his family with his old man, and seeing James umpire as well got me involved into umpiring. So to now share that experience that we've had for so long, 15 years or whatever it is, 16 years, to now umpire, and hopefully we get to do a game together at AFL level, which will be awesome.
I started playing at Aspley at under-8s football, and then when I got to about under-13s, I started my club umpiring journey there just to make a bit of extra money. Probably like a lot of umpires, I realised that I was a lot better at umpiring than I was at playing, so to get to any sort of decent level, I knew that it wasn't going to be through playing, it was going to be through umpiring, so it was a pretty easy decision in the end.
Down at Jindalee, it was a pint of Coke, whether it was a scoreboard or club umpiring or goal umpiring. I used to run about 3 or 4 games a weekend and enjoy the 3 or 4 pies and Cokes, which was fantastic. I'm glad it's changed a little bit now.
absolutely give it a go. I didn't have a whole lot of interest when I was playing footy until friends and whatnot started umpiring, and then I just loved it from day one. So I think it's a great opportunity for you to build confidence in yourself. You know, there's so many range of areas where you can develop yourself outside of footy as well, and helps you in life in general. So give it a go for sure. It's a journey that I'm so thankful that I took up at a young age.
Obviously, the three of us getting put on this year, and there's already two on the list at the moment. So to have a good, strong contingent of Queensland umpires on the list is fantastic, and to do it with two guys that I've kind of come through the ranks with and umpired a lot of football with, it's really good.
It's been a long road to get to this position, and when the phone call came through, I was pretty speechless, and even now talking about it, it's still very exciting and really just looking forward to what challenges are ahead with it.
I think it's probably commitment is the number one thing. A lot of people have a lot of talent and a lot of people have a lot of promise, but I think if you can combine that with commitment and getting everything right off the field and, you know, putting in 100% like everything, I think that's probably what it takes is to get there. Yeah.
Got a few more companies up here. So those of you that wanted to dump Laura Archer, Sammy Hartog, and Andy Crow, come on now. The fundraising target is currently at $1,665, so we're inside the $1,000 mark to get the president up there. Give generously, people. It's all for NMD research. Okay, who's here? Chloe, where are you, mate? Andy Crow. Crowe generously donated the socks to the Woodsman last night too, so give him a round of applause for that. He's showing up there to the Ducks, to the dunk now too. Who is stepping up to the dunk on Crowe? Oh, he's almost done it himself there. Yep. Okay, things in place. Maybe I'm not getting up there. Alright, are we secure? Yeah, okay, the target's being unveiled. Send a footy someone's way, Crowe. His daughter's very keen here. Line that handball target up. There we go. Oh, have another go. You go have two with that. Yep. Okay, running. You don't know I will. Who wants to see him go down? He's going down. There he is. And Crowe, thanks very much. Give it up for Crowe. Okay, we press reset on the dunking machine. Remember, keep giving generously. Come up and scan that QR code. Okay, Laura Archer, everyone. She's stepping up. She's getting ready. There'll be a few. Laura's coached girls teams at the club for a few years now, so I reckon there'll be a few candidates to set her in. All right, they're lining up. She's climbing the ladder. How are you feeling, Laura? She's looking nervous. Okay. One of her old charges, Annie, is stepping up here. Let's see how well she's doing a handball. All right. Oh, it hits the target and it's a no. Needs a bit more power behind it. So Jess steps up. Oh, she's away with one. All right. Has someone else got a footy there? There we go. Oh, and we hit the target. Run up and hit it. You girls have hit it 3 times and it hasn't gone. There you go, Jess. Run up. There we go. And she's down. Well done. Give it up for Laura Archer. All right. Sammy Hartog, where are you? He went to get changed. You want to do that after. Here he comes. I can see him strolling up. Here he is. You better put that drink away, mate. That's that's a fine. That's another donation for you. All right, sending hearts off one of our reserves players. There's an extra bag of ice going in, just to make sure he doesn't get too hot in there. So, where is he? He's hiding behind the curtain. Ice and cold. All for freeze for MND. Where is he? He's taking his shoes off, mate. That's all he's taking off. Oh, the shirt's off. The rig's out. The rig's out. There we go. Surely there's someone that wants to see Sammy sing. There he is. We got Hammers stepping up. Are you going to handball Hammers? No, he's just going to press the target. And Hammers, thank you very much. Oh, there's water everywhere. Sammy Hartog, everyone. Thank you. All right, that's it for the dunking right now, but we still need, Blair, have we got an updated total? We're still at 1665, so we need a few more donations to get Tomo up there in his budgies. We need $68 now to get Mitch Merritt there. So a few senior women, I reckon, will be up to all your resources. Will be good. $250 you can dump Hammers. Jesse Lashman's just put his hand up.
Number 38.
Give generously, everyone.
He's number Morgan Smith. I think calls it green.
That's it, the dumping right now. There'll be more later.
Number 3. He's on Baker. People watching it live. So
during the half-time break, as we said earlier today, is also our Sponsors Day, as well as the Big Freeze for Sherwood MND. While our under-8s are out there playing today, we'll speak a little more about our sponsors. Essential Care Dental is a modern family dental practice located on Oxley Road in Graceville. We focus on building relationships with you, putting your dental health needs first. They not only make customers cards, but they do offer a comprehensive range of priority cosmetic dentistry to suit everyone's dental needs. They do children's, adults, including traditional braces, clear aligners. We welcome all new patients and their families as well. And here at the Sherwood Makeover, we thank Essential Care Dental for their support. And designing and building quality homes for over 60 years is a reason that Glenville Homes is Australia's most rewarded builder. In the average in suburban street, you'll find many new girls sharing with over 64 years of expertise and more than 1,000 portfolio. They design and build homes in every style and shape of vision. Indeed, design is in their DNA, which is why they're focused on creating homes to fit your lifestyle, not to just fit a trend. So whether you select a pre-designed home from their collection range or choose to work with their in-house architect and design team on a custom home, you'll find a Glenville home that is anything but ordinary. Glenville Homes, thank you very much for your support. And Place Real Estate Agents in Graceville was established in 2002 with a clear vision to be Brisbane's best residential real estate agents. Today, Place Estate Agents dominate the Brisbane market with our focus solely dedicated to this city. Place Estate Agents have handpicked quality people who are experts in the local community, with offices across Brisbane. Their agents specialise in these cities and its and give you the advantage of years of experience and inside knowledge. Best real estate agents in Brisbane, I guarantee you. most grateful. Thank you. And Carter Capital Law has been in business since 1944 and maintains 98 clients Carter Capital Law has maintained its historical strength to meet the needs of all kinds of people, from those with spending backgrounds to those in charge of substantial commercial interests. Today, Peter Carter leads the plans that continues to provide personal service to clients across Queensland and all around the world. New Carter Capital Law. CFMG Capital creates value for investors through active development of ESG. CFMG Residential Properties is a creator, aspiring residential addresses, and the CFMG Capital investment opportunities are a vehicle created to offer investors access to real returns of real projects. CFMG Capital operate a series of unlisted managed investments that invest in the development of residential land subdivision projects delivered by an industry-leading and highly experienced expert. They bring residential communities to life. The goal is to deliver aspirational addresses to emerging communities across Australia. Their ability to operate with agility, focus and quality delivers a clear competitive advantage. CFMG Capital are proud to have a proven track record of 2,000 residential lots with a gross value of over $400 million across multiple projects in Brisbane, Sydney and Melbourne. Over 1,000 investors have chosen CFMG Capital to grow their nest egg, and over 2,000 families call CFMG Capital residential community home. From the Sherwood Magpies, CFMG Capital, thank you very much. And last but definitely no means least, Mark and Claire from U-Box are here today joining us, and we thank them for their support. They have an offer out exclusive to the Sherwood Magpies members for an early bird offer on their 6-week training for $249. They want you to conquer your Everest with their training. You can join this challenge to win the Everest-based experience in Morningside with over 7,500. The training camp starts on the 6th of July. You can register now. You can talk to Mark and Claire while they're here. The training package includes unlimited training for this year's goals. You will save $50 for the early bird special. You get U-Box Plus and wrap for only at $9. One-on-one coaching every session. Benchmarks, workshop challenges to take advantage of this early bird special. Thank you very much, Mark and let's hear it from all our sponsors just before our boys come back out. Come on, nice and loud. They're inside. We want to hear us. We want them to know that we're grateful. As we welcome the Morningside Panthers back once again. And here they come, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get loud. They need your support right now. Big bird boy coming up. Get behind the Sherwood Magpies. Nice and loud. I'm not hearing it. Wow! Let's get loud! Let's get loud! And let's thank our other race for giving us a half-time show. Well done, guys. That is all. Strap yourselves in. Our boys need your support.
Sorry, just a nice low cloud come through. It's going to rain all the way from Queensland. Did you say? Oh, you mate. Oh, mate, done. I'll say good day to Ian for it. Say good day to Terry. Do you want to drink? Do you want to drink? You know what? I gave you guys. I've never did before. I was a Do you really? Whose side you on? Whose side you on? Are you serious? Did he actually really get it? But I can't believe that I gave you the opportunity to go down back and get square. You said but you should have gone down. Stopped him, but then just lifted up and kicked it off. Do you reckon, like, is he going to try and get you to speak out? What are you going to say? He's going to tell him he's going to be all nice. Last minute, every week. And I'm not talking about he's been doing this since we were 6. Out the word. You know what was weird? No one got wait, what's he say? He's like, oh, be careful, you don't need to. Who said that? Who said that to Tim? Actually, don't need to full mate. He's actually cracked. I was like,
And welcome back to round 15 QAFL action from Sherwood's home ground here at Power Oval in Sherwood. Between the Sherwood Magpies and the Morningside Panthers, my name's Kane Browning. I'm joined this afternoon by Hannah Davies. And Hannah, just going into that half-time, it seemed like Morningside really started to get the momentum back from the Sherwood Magpies.
Yeah, they certainly did. I mean, they kicked 5 goals in a row there, one in the 29th minute of the first term, and then second quarter was just all about Morningside. Sherwood unable to actually even get a major. They had 2 behinds. The angles probably weren't impossible, so unfortunately just a lot of pressure for them. I loved, not sure if you would have heard it on the effects mic, but the MC just really rallying behind these boys. You know, this game is one that we've seen from little glimpses that they could come back and potentially even win, but goodness, they've got to change something for this second half.
No, if they get back to the way they were playing that first quarter, we did say at half-time, Anna, that it just seemed like they literally swapped jumpers between each other. It was a complete reversal of form in the way they were playing. Morningside getting back into the game and getting the lead back. What is it at the moment? 16 points the margin at half-time. We've got some goal kickers here. I'll let you go through that, Hannah, if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we had 2 so far in that quarter from Adam Peake. Really great from him, and not a whole lot of surprises there. Dad's one for him and Lewis. And then, of course, Morningside had one from McLeod in the first term. For Sherwood had Bully, Cruz and Edwards. And then they went quiet after that.
No, and we'll also quickly go around the ground. Some interesting contests between sides in round 15. Noosa trailing Labrador 38-54. Aspley, really good contest between the Maroochydore Roos, 42 leading the Roos 39. Vultures 40 trailing Broadbeach 53. The D's are doing a number on the Gorillas 61-15. And Redland absolutely trouncing Palm Beach 84-8. So going to turn into an absolute thumping there up at Redland as action continues here in the third quarter between these two. Bit clumsy there by Hodge, who's had a really good afternoon, especially that second quarter. Free kick went to Gigis. Gigis going out a little bit wider, heading towards half forward. That's a better kick. And again, this slow and steady approach, a bit similar to the second quarter. Kicks inside. That's a better kick, though. Great effort there. Looks like young number 4, Riley Easton, who literally, it just seemed like he probably went past probably 3 Morningside defenders who were waiting for the drop of the ball. He just ran straight past them, took an easy chest mark.
It was beautiful vision. The timing of the pass just perfect too.
Easton now coming in, right foot kick. That's better from the Magpies. The crowd goes wild. They get the first goal of the third quarter, the premiership quarter, as we like to call it here in the QAFL. They moved to 4-3-27 to 5-7-37. 2 goals the margin, 12 points. Anyone's game at this early stages of this third quarter.
We had to wait about 30 minutes of playtime for it, but finally came.
But again, that was better from Sherwood. Didn't bomb away to the goal square like they have in that second quarter. Hit the space up well, led extremely well. Easton ended up with the easy chest mark and a good shot on goal. They're back in this contest, the Magpies. Morningside dying to get the clearance here. Smothered off the boot. Ball rolling around. No one can get clean possession. Dangerous handball out. That's, I believe, that's Radcliffe. I keep getting that name mixed up with someone for some reason. I'm thinking Daniel Radcliffe off the Harry Potter movies, so keep that in mind. He looks more like Darcy Moore down there. Magpies colours, got the headband, long hair, playing down back. He's playing extremely well. Fletcher gets a bit of a push in the back. No free kick paid. Gets locked up once more.
Love to see a bit of magic from him though.
Gets caught holding the ball. That's a bit stiff towards the Panthers. And that was tackle laid by Prest. Prest now. Right foot kick. Again, look at that for a kick. Couldn't take the mark though. Ball ends up hands of Magpies. Shot on goal, left foot kick. Too far. Unfortunately pushed it to the left. Danger signs here for the Panthers. Like the first quarter, the Magpies pushing hard in these early stages. Morningside going to be forced down the line. A lot of players around this contest. Both ruckmen went up. No one could get clean possession. We finally got the name of this player, John Baker. He went from number 5 to number 3. He's had a really good afternoon for the Magpies. Kicked that ball inside 50. Ends up in the hands of Nelson. Tackle laid by the Magpies. Look at the pressure now. Swarming. That's Baker again, gets the handball out. Handballs to Fletcher. Great smother there by the Panthers. Coming out of defence once more. Quick fire handballs. No one at home for the Panthers though. Ends up in the hands of Marengo. Marengo now goes to that far side wing. Hits his target. That's Cooper out there. Cooper coming back inboard. Dangerous kick. Couldn't hit a target. Ducks under the tackle. Could be holding the ball. No. Umpire comes in. Ball it up once more. That was a great tackle laid there by Swan, who's been a bit quiet this afternoon. Hasn't had a lot of possessions. He's definitely someone who can get back into this game for the Panthers. Again, ball just rolling towards the Sherwood half-forward line. Great pressure again by the Magpies. Hat kick in forward. No one can get clean possession. Panthers end up with it though. Good tackle laid by the Magpies. Magpies dive on the footy. That could be holding the man, unfortunately. Free kicks going to the Panthers though. But again, they've got a bit of energy going, the Magpies, in these early stages of the third quarter. Very similar to the opening stanza between the two sides. Goes out a little bit wider.
It's been a very up and down game. And if it's, anything like we saw at the first, half of that first quarter, Sherwood should be able to kind of maintain this momentum, but we'll see.
Decides to switch across the ground. Radcliffe's there trying to defend. That's a shocking kick. Good pressure there by the Magpies. Handball's inboard. There's another snap on goal. Depends on the bounce. Bounce literally on a 90-degree angle. Ends up in the hands of the Morningside Panthers though. They come out of defence once more. That's a better kick. Handball's over the top. Decides to go down the line on that far side. Couldn't hit. Hodge on that occasion went over his head, rolled over for another boundary throw in.
They've been loving to just, play on and go with that momentum, try and get a bit of speed, but often what you're finding with Morningside is there's no one actually ready when they get further down the line.
No, there's so many players getting pushed up the ground, trying to get extra numbers at the contest, trying to even up numbers-wise. Unfortunately, those hack kicks forward for the Panthers, early stages, there's no one at home. Marengo's been carrying it off with ease. This ball gets locked up once more for another stoppage. But if you just look across the ground, look at the numbers around the contest at the moment. There's probably 15 players around the ball at the moment. So anyone's game. Ball, handball, kicks down the line, that's a better kick. Front on contact, free kick. Baker tried to get there, couldn't get there without giving away the free kick on that occasion. Morningside goes inside, attacking 50. Oh, high flying attempted mark, couldn't take it though. Ball hits the deck. Again, the numbers around the contest at the moment by both these sides. And literally front of centre, Sherwood's got one player in front of centre right now, but that's for both sides. It's only the full forward and the full back left of screen here. Ball ends up in the hands on the last line of defence for the Magpies. Magpies coming out of defence once more. That's a shocking kick. Ends up in the hands of McCarthy. McCarthy to Nelson. Nelson handballs over the top. Dodge, weave, step. High tackle. Yes, it is, and unfortunately, Sherwood players come off second best. No, it's actually a free kick to Sherwood.
Yeah, it looked like it was a holding the ball call, but almost seemed like he'd already gotten rid of it.
I thought he'd already got rid of that. Geez, a little bit unlucky Morningside on that occasion, but Sherwood get a reprieve. They're probably going to have to go down the line here. Right in front of us here on the broadcast side. And again, that's way too easy for Hodge to cut off.
There was just no space for anyone to move.
Hodge handballs it off. Kicks down the line. Geez, it's almost like a tennis match here at the moment, Hannah. Back and forth, back and forth. Goes a little bit wider to a bit of open space. That's a little bit better by the Magpies. Look at the space on that far side, though. That's Clark. Clark kicks the ball down the line. Really, it's no one, though. Should be advantage to Pendlebury. Good tackle laid. Pressure put on. Dads is there for the Panthers. Couldn't get to the contest. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw-in. Geez, there really isn't a lot between these two sides this afternoon. Plenty on the line, especially for the Panthers. Got to get another win on the board. Stay in sight at the top six. We have got a long time to go before finals. That was Dad's pushing the ball towards the boundary line. Ball rolls over for another stoppage. They're almost filling each other out in the third quarter, Hannah. It doesn't seem like anyone's getting any clear space. Congestion is immense at the moment. Sometimes you've got to try and hold your width, especially this broadcast side wingman. I think they're getting pushed too close to the contest at the moment. Ball gets hacked forward for the Magpies. Towards hard forward. Nelson was there. Handballed it out. Decides to handball into some traffic. That wasn't the best decision. I believe that was Fletcher there diving on the footy. Ball rolls forward for the Panthers. Pushed off the ball there. Here's some open space for the Panthers now. Kick inside 50. Right foot kick 1-on-1. Who's going to win this? Good effort there by the Magpies. Steps back inside. Could be danger signs. Handballs out wide. They've got the extra couple of numbers here. Decides to kick down the line.
And this has been Sherwood's saving grace today, is how good their defence is. But it's all about this transition now.
That's a better kick. He's been really lively in this third quarter, Easton. I've liked the way he's played. Could have handballed it off to Radcliffe coming off the bench. Decided not to. Kicks down the line. That's better. Ends up about 35-40 metres out on a slight angle. And again, just dropping their eyes, going inside, hacking 50 rather than bombing away. That's big number 60. And again, I'm not quite sure who that is because he's not on the team sheet. We've been chasing numbers all afternoon. There's been a number of changes. So apologies for anyone watching the telecast. Right foot kick. Coming back left to right, doesn't go enough? No. minus score. They moved to 5-8-30, 4-4-28, trailing Morningside 5-7-37. Jonty McDougall.
Number 60 for the Magpies.
Number 60, Jonty Oh, yep, he is listed here, so thank you very much, Hannah. He was one of the emergencies. He's been a bit lively in this third quarter as well. He's had a couple of possessions. Ball gets kicked a little bit longer. Probably a 5-on-1. Here's Fletcher, decides with the check side. Couldn't come back far enough. Another minus score to the Magpies. They're slowly cutting back that margin though. 5-7-37 to 4-5-29. Ends up in the hands. This is Godwin now for Morningside. Chips the ball across. I've really been impressed by this young man this afternoon, Charlie Cole. Cole chips the ball back and forward. Ends up in the hands of Cole. Cole kicks down the line to this broadcast side. One-on-one contest. Ball gets over the back. Here's danger signs. Great tackle laid there by the Magpies. No free kick paid. Bit of push and shove. Plenty of energy in this contest. That was a great chase down tackle though. Trying to handball it back. Here's Baker. Baker down the line. Speaking of players, this is McDougall once more. McDougall. Long right foot kick to the half-forward line. Got the extra number Morningside. Great contest though. Ball hits the deck. Almost cut off by Radcliffe. Ball rolling around. McDougall in there once more. For another stoppage. Right on the boundary line here on the broadcast side. Probably between the wing and half-forward for the Magpies. Here's a player for Morningside. Ducks under the tackle. Deemed head high. Got absolutely crunched. That was a 3-on-1 tackle. Gave the free kick away. Peake's been good. Kicked a couple of goals this afternoon. Finds himself across the half-back line. Decides to switch. Kicks to that far side. Bit of open space. Could get cut off. A rock couldn't quite get to the contest. Got the ball to ground though. Good tackle laid. Handball over the head. That's always dangerous. Ends up in the hands of a Morningside teammate. Kicks down the line. Almost takes mark of the year. Brings the ball to ground. Ball rolling around. Handball. Bit wider. Snapshot inside forward 50. Right on the 50-metre line. Ball rolling around. Players come together. Another stoppage. This contest really even in this third quarter. No one's really getting on top of the other at the moment. Free kick paid to the Magpies.
Yeah, they're not, and I'm loving the work from Sherwood's defender Ryan Gilder. He's just really shutting down Keegan Downey, that vice-captain there for Morningside. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera angle, but he's just riding him hard there, making it really hard for Keegan to present.
This is a rock now on that far side wing, right on the boundary line. Decides to come in board. That's a better kick. Ends up in the hands of Baker. I'm so glad I got the name of this player because he's had a ton of the footy this afternoon. Left foot kick. That's really good by the Magpies. Here's a chance now. One-on-one. Bit of holding. Great mark. Now again, just moving the ball with a little bit of pace doesn't give those Morningside defenders time to go back and man up. One-on-one contest, too big, too strong on that occasion. This is Connor Bully.
And putting it in that front space, just had to hold well, and he did it.
Geez, bit hard to get, a bit Alistair Lynch type. Once they're in front of you, it's very hard to get around them to get your hand on the footy to punch the ball clear. Bully now, right foot kick. That's a better shot at goal. They've got another one, the Magpies. And all of a sudden, the margin's been brought right back. 2 points in it. 5-5-35. Morningside, 5-7-37. Anyone's contest in the Premiership quarter, Hannah. Who's going to get on top? That's the question we're all asking.
Well, momentum certainly with Sherwood once again. I mean, second quarter, all Morningside, and now 2 in a row for the Magpies.
That's the second goal to Bully. So he's Magpies' only multiple goal kicker. Adam Peake's got a couple for Morningside. So a couple of key players for both these sides in front of goal this afternoon. Ruckman go up once more. Morningside get the clearance. Great mark taken there by, again, the Sherwood defence. Looks like we'll have to get back to you on who that was. Radcliffe did extremely well. Brings the ball to ground. Magpies down couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Bit fumbly there. Morningside get possession back, wanting to use the corridor. Kicks down the line. That's better from the Panthers. Ends up in the hands of Downey. Downey, the leading goal kicker for the Panthers, with 22. Hasn't had a lot of the footy this afternoon. That's great. That's awesome, going inside 50. First real opportunity for Dads to get into some open space.
Had a similar attempt here not too long ago and hit the post. Sherwood have 2 in a row so far. Can this one break that spell?
Just to halt the momentum slightly, Panthers. Dads kicking towards goal. Unfortunately, pushed it to the left. Minor score.
We'll see how much of an impact these two behinds have on this game. That's 9 so far. Obviously 5 majors and 5-5 for Sherwood. So here's another attempt at the transition for them. They love this wing across, but they'll switch it this time into the middle.
Here they come now on that far side wing. Got a bit of open space. Handballs over the top now. Going inside, attacking 50, one-on-one. Could have been held, no free kick paid. Got the extra number there though, the Panthers. Come out defence once more. Probably going to use the same side of the ground. Yes, they do. Towards Lewis. Lewis got a pretty good bounce. Handballs back in board. That's a little bit better from the Panthers. Lazy attempt at tackling from Fletcher. Here's some open space. They've pushed it to this broadcast side. Look at the space here for the Panthers to run into. Got to be clean. Radcliffe's there. Good pressure by Radcliffe. Look at that for a tackle. Got to be gone. No, got foot to ball, says the umpire. Radcliffe's still there. Great tackle, Wade. Is that a free kick? Dumping tackle. Umpire gives a free kick to the Panthers. Imagine here in the effects, Mike. Plenty of Sherwood supporters screaming at that decision. Draining out our commentary.
I don't know whether to turn it up or down, Kane.
Well, kicks down the line, got pushed under the footy. Free kick again to the Panthers. And unfortunately, that's 52. Didn't give the ball back on the full. Magpie, a little bit frustration here. Coming to the Magpies in very dangerous positions on the ground. Ball ends up in the hands. This is Keegan Downey once more. He's going to be kicking from the goal square to increase the lead for the visitors.
Well, you can just tell how much it means. And there he goes. Keegan Downey again, one of the easiest ones of the game.
He'll kick, easiest kick he'll have this afternoon.
Brings his tally this season up to 23.
Geez, and unfortunately for the Magpies, a little bit of ill discipline. A little bit unlucky, I must say, as well. Plenty of tackles laid by the likes of Radcliffe. And I believe it was also Austin there, but umpire decided it was a slinging action. Dangerous tackle. Got paid, and the frustration then came out. Didn't get the ball back on the full. 50-metre penalty paid. Right to the goal line. Easy kick for Downey on that occasion, and they've increased the lead. 5-5-35 Sherwood. We're just waiting on that scoreboard here to show the Morningside score.
And look at Will Fletcher and Morningside over there just giving each other a bit of a nudge.
And umpire picked it up too. Not quite sure. Umpire supporters were saying free kick to Fletch. I'd say 99% of the supporters here this afternoon, Hannah, is in support of the Sherwood Magpies. I'm not sure how many supporters for the Morningside Panthers are here this afternoon, but if there are any, they're definitely getting drowned out. As we are in the commentary box, we're right next to the majority of the supporters for the Magpies this afternoon.
Yeah, some very colourful language. But you can feel the passion, and, they're only, a few goals away from edging over this Morningside team. But it's just going to take that discipline, isn't it? We can feel the heat from the supporters.
More heat in the kitchen on that far side boundary line.
Well, you want your players to care, but you can't let it get to the point where it's going to disadvantage the team.
No, and again, the next 5 minutes are going to be crucial for both these sides. Whoever goes first for the footy, rather than the man, is going to go a long way to getting those free kicks. The umpires are going to play whoever's in front. Dangerous kick there, though, gets cut off. Morningside. That's a better kick. O'Dwyer couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Sorry, McLeod. I keep wanting to call him Shaq. I'm sorry, ladies and gents. McLeod just doesn't seem right.
Gage's just called there for holding. So again, just that discipline.
That's Swan. Swan launches a ball forward. Should be cut off. Ball hits the deck though. Easy mark dropped. And again, the pressure comes. Another stoppage. Probably about 45 out for Morningside's goal. 10 points the margin. 6-9-45 to 5-5-35 in favour of the Panthers. Hackball out defence. Mark taken by Morningside. Right in the middle of the ground here. Goes inside 50. Great pick up there by the full forward for the Panthers. Unfortunately, ends up in the hands of Fletcher. Fletcher looking for Baker. Gets punched over the line for another boundary throw in. And that punch over the line, that's Charlie Cole out there. Great effort.
So played about 27 and a half minutes here. And Sherwood really just need one more to bring it back into competition for that fourth quarter.
This has set up the perfect fourth quarter for both these sides. We've got an epic on our hands this afternoon, ladies and gents. As Sherwood looking for that next goal, just hacks the ball forward. Handballs it back. Launches a ball inside, tagging 50. Got caught behind though. Easy intercept mark.
That's great defence from Morningside too. They're staying calm. They can sense a bit of panic there from Sherwood.
Good mark taken there in the corridor. Decides to come out this broadcast side. Plenty of numbers around the ball. Couldn't take the mark on that occasion. Numbers are with Sherwood as the siren goes. Three-quarter time here at Sherwood's home ground. The margin, 10 points. Visitors are leading Morningside, 6-9-45. Sherwood, 5-5-35. Just go through some goal kickers quickly. Morningside, 1 to Downey, 1 to Dads, 1 to Lewis, 2 to Peake, 1 to McLeod, and 1 to Goodwin, looks like. And for Sherwood, as something drops, I'm not quite sure what. 1 goal to Easton, 1 goal to Fletcher, 2 to Bully, 1 to Cruz, and 1 to Edwards. Well, everyone take a breath like we will here. Three-quarter time. We'll be back for fourth quarter QAFL action in a few moments.
Can we just see who kicks the first goal this next quarter? Who's the money on? Who's the money on? Junior President, Tim McAvoy. So, they played a game of footy today. Coach has done a lot around the club. So give it up, Tim McAvoy. There's a ladder at the back. There's a ladder at the back. He's there. Takes his position. We're going to move target with the middle right. All right. So, where we got lining up? We got some girls from his under 11s lining up. How good are your handballs, girls? There we go. Oh, that's a miss. That's a miss. Let's go again. Oh, that one's over the top. Oh, moved it a little bit. It's getting closer. Who wants to see him go in? All right. A bit louder. Come on. Oh, that was a big one. Hey, let's go again. Oh. this target, girls. Come on. Oh, he's in. Okay. We have a willing volunteer here. Where are you, Dave Hamill? Here he is. Hammers, our Senior Director of Football, but no one's put the money in for him. It costs $250. Come up, scan the QR code, donate and say you want to see Hammers drenched. All right, get around it. He's not going in until someone pops up the dough. All right. We are also $102 short before we have Tomo and his budgie smugglers up there. So, we need a few more donations, people. We are $102 shy of our $2,000 target to get Tomo up there and his Magpies budgie smugglers. We also have some donations rolling in for Sean Tui. Happy. There's a few kids coming up and asking me. So Blair's keeping a very close eye on the totals here. So let's just see, where's Blair with the dollar count? Is there any rolling in? There's a few blokes pooling their resources here. Yep, looks like we got Hammers going in. Hammers is going in! Now, leave some water in the tank, Hammers. We needed $102. We're over it. We hit the 2,000, ladies and gentlemen, so well done. Thank you very much. So that means after the senior game and after we hopefully shared these 10 points out of our boys out there, Tomo will be up there in his Magpie budgie smugglers. So well done.
Rig out, Hammers. Rig out.
All right, Hammers is getting the position. Who wants to throw the ball for Hammers? Oh, there's a lot of hands going up. I think daughter wants to dunk that, so she gets the first go. Wait for Dad to see it, okay? That's not her? All right.
That's criminal. That's criminal.
Rich, oh, do you want to do it? You want to make Dad go in? All right. Can you run up? You run up and press that as hard as you can. All right, you got two. Both press it really hard. And he's in! Oh! Well done, thank you everyone. That's Dave Hamill. Okay, as Marshy gives the last address to our boys out there, they're 10 points down, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give the cheers, everything we've got to get these guys home against this tough Morningside team. All right, Mitch will later. All right. 10 points, ladies and gentlemen. Morningside are coming home with the breeze, so our boys need everything.
And welcome back here for last quarter action here between the Sherwood Magpies and the Morningside Panthers. Game set up perfectly, 10 points the margin in favour of the Panthers. Can Sherwood come back or Morningside run away with it? As Morningside looked to get the first clearance of the fourth quarter, got tripped up by his own teammate there. Umpire comes in for another ball up. Didn't have a lot of time between the quarters there, ladies and gents.
No, and to me, Kane, this game is going to be won between the heads. You know, whether Sherwood can stay calm and not let probably the heat of the crowd make them do silly things. You know, we saw some really silly areas in that last quarter that just didn't need to happen.
No, you're definitely right there, Hannah. I mean, you give away, we talked about it at three-quarter time, you give away a free kick, and then you decide to throw the ball over the opponent's head, 20 metres practically. Gave the 50-metre away, goal on the goal line. That's got to be a mark to Morningside. Play on, says the umpire. kicks down the line. Advantage was paid, so it was a mark, all free kick, but the advantage was paid. Ends up in a stoppage on the Morningside half-forward line. And again, just looking further down the ground, Morningside have no one deeper other than Downey, who's pushing back now, but he was at the half-forward line with the ball at the deck. That's Shaq going into it, and again, ball ends up on the last line, easily intercepted by the Sherwood defence.
Yeah, Ryan Gilder, he's been really great at holding down Keegan Downey as an option there.
And again, they're slow, methodical, coming down from half-back. Gone too far, though. That's on the full. Morningside once more be in a position to go deep inside forward 50. Looking to go down the line. Look at the numbers down the line between both these sides. Morningside half-forward line, plenty of numbers. Fletcher is pushing over. He's going to get to this contest. Ball gets over the back, though. Rolls towards boundary line. Another boundary throw in. That right forward pocket for the Panthers. And again, right now it's man on man, anyone's game. They're not playing this one man a kick behind the ball at all, either of these two sides. As again, the Magpies clear the ball from defensive 50 with not really a nothing kick. But again, the ball gets hacked inside forward 50 for the Panthers. Magpies end up with it. Heading towards Radcliffe. There's a player out there for Morningside, pushes him over the line. Another boundary throw in. Now it's been interesting too. Rock really hasn't been sighted since the first quarter this afternoon. I've liked his form during the year, but he's really gone out of the game this afternoon. Can he kick a couple of goals in this last quarter to get the win for the Magpies? Panthers fumbling a little bit, goes inside 50, one-on-one. That Shaq goes up, couldn't get possession of the footy, but no one touched it. Is that going to be a goal? Umpires conferring now on the goal line.
I think they could be saying a push in the back,
but
from McLeod.
I mean, the umpire didn't call a free kick, so the whistle didn't go till the ball went over the line, and they've decided that's touched for a minor score to the Panthers. So the Magpies get lucky on that occasion.
Very lucky. I mean, one more goal to Morningside, and that really makes things difficult for the winless team to get one in the season.
Pendlebury brought the ball to ground. There's a Magpies player just behind this contest come up very gingerly. Looks like Geegis. Yeah, he looks very. Oh, he looks very sore. Geegis gets dragged off the footy in the ruck contest as well. Doesn't do him any favours. Here's a chance for the Panthers. Kick to the hot spot. Shaq went up again. His last line defence decides to keep it in. Danger sides for the Magpies. Got to go up here. Oh, bodies come together. Magpies looking to clear. Couldn't lay the tackle. Look at the pressure on this contest. And there's a free kick for on the ball. Didn't get boot to ball. Great tackle there by the Panthers. Also come up a bit sore and proppy. A little bit of cramp by the looks of it. That's Swan. Swan's definitely got into the game since half-time, that's for sure. Launches the ball deep inside attacking 50. Numbers are with the Magpies. Coming out of defence once more. They've been very good this afternoon. Morningside had a period there where they were just relentlessly kicking the ball inside attacking 50, but they've stayed true. Here's a chance for the Magpies. This is better by them. Decides to go long. One-on-one. 35 out. No one can take possession of the ball. Here's the contest. Tackles laid. Umpire almost blew the whistle. Could be holding the ball. No. Umpire comes in for another stoppage. I wasn't sure whether he was going to blow home the ball, holding the man, pushing the back. Decides to throw it up. Dangerous position here for the Panthers defence. Tackle laid there, trying to dive from the boundary line. No free kick paid. Ball rolls over. That'll be a boundary throw in. In the left forward pocket for the Magpies. Can they kick one? They're going to have to start kicking them soon. 11 points the margin here. 5-5-35. 6-10, 46 in favour of the Panthers. Plenty on the line here for the Panthers' chances for finals in season 2023. Ball hits the deck. No one can get clean possession. Pendlebury's there. Gets tackled by Baker. Pendlebury handballed it. Ball rolls over for another boundary throw in.
Played about 6.5 here in the final quarter. Sherwood just inching away, trying to get their first win for the season.
And look at the players pushing up the ground. There's no one forward of centre for the Panthers. Everyone's trying to lock this ball in. Good luck marking that, guys. Nelson's there, drops the mark. Pressure still on. Possession with the Magpies. Kick on goal. Oh, just offline. Minor score to the Magpies. Just pushing slowly but surely. Trying to even up the scoreboard here. Back to 10 points the margin. Anyone's game, ladies and gents. This is Nelson coming out from full back. Launches the ball 70 metres to no one though. Gets cut off by the Magpies. Magpies going towards half forward. That's a better kick. Ends up in the hands. Looks like Baker out there once more. He looks like he's pushed to the half forward line. And he looks pretty confident with the distance, Hannah.
Why not? 7:40 played here. And look, it's Morningside's to lose, really. The Sherwood, they've got nothing to lose here. Baker, big swing, won't make the distance.
Look at that
whatsoever.
Ball up in the breeze. Ball hits the deck. All the numbers with the Panthers, though. Everyone ran forward to the footy. Nelson ends up with it. Handballs it out wide. Bit fumbly out there. A rock's there, laying the tackle. That could be on the ball. No free kick paid. Baker's there trying to lay the pressure on. Just slams the ball forward. Ends up in the hands. That's McLeod out there. He's had a pretty solid afternoon, Shaq McLeod.
Good to get the last name in there.
It was about time, but unfortunately the kick's offline. Out on the full. Straight back in the hands of Sherwood to try to attack once more. Right on their half-back line towards a rock. Shocking kick. Here's a chance for the Panthers. Far side half forward. Gets smothered off the boot. Got another opportunity. Not the best of kicks. Comes in board. That's Ratcliffe once more. Handball's out to open space.
And where are the options? I mean, they're just screaming for it.
That's Cooper. Ends up in the hands of Ratcliffe. Pushes off. Handball, nothing to no one. He'll end up with the ball once more. Tries to lay the tackle. Look at the pressure around this contest. Decide to go backwards. Oh, not the best of kicks, but it could work. Hacks the ball forward. Ball hits the deck. Austin was there. There's Baker. Couldn't lay a tackle on Hodge. Hodge pushes the ball out wide in the hands of Dylan Swan. Swan hasn't had a lot to go to. Steps back inside. Steps back outside. Launches the ball deep inside 10-50. No one at home for the Panthers.
Yeah, it looks very pretty, that movement, but I'm not sure it ultimately did what he wanted.
Geez, Cooper's been brilliant this afternoon for the Magpies. I've loved his game across centre half back. Here's some open space now for the Magpies. Ends up in the hands of Knight out there. Knight pushing the ball forward. Ends up in the hands of a Sherwood player there. Sherwood going deep inside 50, but again, not the best of kicks. They're really, both sides are falling down when they're going in deep inside 50. It's a game between the arcs at the moment, ladies and gents. Morningside. Hodge pushes the ball out wide. But again, pushing the ball out wide are really to no one. Lewis ends up with it. Handballs over the top. Plenty of opinion going on in the effects, Mike, from supporters from both these sides. Morningside pushes the ball forward inside 50 again. Throws a hand out at it. Couldn't take the mark. Ends up in the hands of Ratcliffe on the last line once more. Ratcliffe going to half back. Austin's decided to push up the ground. He's had a pretty good second half this afternoon. Ends up in the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell pushing the ball towards half forward. No one can take the mark. Bit clumsy there. Pendlebury was good enough on that occasion. Could have been holding the ball. Ball rolls towards. Decided to keep the ball in. Knight, really good. One-on-one. Baker's there. Couldn't get his hands on the footy though. Got caught running forward of the ball. Here's a chance. Here's Fletcher. Fletcher gets absolutely poleaxed. No free kick paid. Ball drifting towards the boundary. Over the line for a boundary throw-in. I'm starting to lose my voice, Hannah. You might have
Take
to help
a
me
breath,
out.
Kane. Oh, that pass from Mitchell, though. I mean, the accuracy was beautiful, but just unfortunate that his teammate couldn't get a hand to it.
Fletcher got absolutely poleaxed after he got rid of the
Sorry,
footy.
Fletcher, not Mitchell. It's my bad.
Fletcher was trying to get the ball to Baker. And it looks like it's going to be a free kick to Morningside. But again, it's between the arcs at the moment, isn't it? Who can step up? Later stages of this last quarter, ladies and gents. We've still got an epic on our hands. 10 points the margin. Probably halfway through this last quarter. Hodge ends up with it. Could have been dropping the ball. No free kick paid. Umpire comes in. Give it to me, guys. Another stoppage. That's Baker once more. He's been just about the best for the Magpies this afternoon. Tried to tap into a teammate. Ball rolls over the line. Jeez, that's a bit of a mismatch. Baker versus Hodge. Hodge has probably got 10 kilos and about 3 foot advantage on Baker, but he's not taking a backward step, just like most of his Magpies teammates this afternoon. Hodge tried to get clean possession. No clean possession there. Ends up in the hands of the Magpies though. Snap inside towards goal. Mark paid. Ends up in the hands of Pendlebury. Pendlebury coming back from half back now. Just kicks to open space. No one at home. That could be deliberate. Keeps the ball in though. Here's a little bit of a chance. No, decides to go back. Go back in board. That's cut off by Dads though. Ball hits the deck. Magpies end up with possession though. Handballs it back in the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell kicks towards our forward. Oh, great spot there. Baker pushed the man off. Couldn't take possession of the ball though. Tackle laid. Ends up in the hands of Baker once more. Ball rolling around. Could be owing the ball. No free kick paid. Ends up in the hands of Morningside. Decides to go down the line. Ball rolling around. No free kick. Kicks the ball down the line towards half forward. Right on the boundary. Ball hits the deck. Rolls over the line for another boundary throw-in. Hannah,
Yeah,
I'm just going to take a breath for a second. If you could help me out, that would be great.
Absolutely, Kane. I'm surprised you've still got a voice at this point, but 14 minutes played now and no majors this term. I mean, is this clock just going to wind down to the advantage of Morningside? Find out. Again, ball's probably going to be brought to ground here. We'll have another ball up from the umpire. So the contest just so tight on each possession that it's nearly impossible for anyone to make big movement with it. Peak weaves around back into that centre channel. Well, that's where it's dangerous. Sherwood. Again, it'll go high into the air and beautiful take there from the Magpies, and finally they're in front of goal.
That's
Number
Austin.
one.
That's Austin. He's had a brilliant second half. He's probably had 2 or 3 shots on goal this afternoon, Austin.
And this is the one that's going to count, isn't it? 10 points away.
Jeez, if we can turn this into a 4-point margin, this will be an epic finish between these two sides. Austin now, left foot kick, coming back with a breeze. No, minus score. Brings the margin to 9 points. Morningside 46, leading Sherwood 37. 5-6-37 to 6-10-46. As Nelson once more comes out from full back. Hits the target. That's a 70-metre drop punt pass through the corridor now. Look at the space open up for the Panthers. Going inside 50 towards Lewis. Lewis crunches the mark. Jeez. From end to end, the Panthers move the footy. Sherwood couldn't get a hand on it. And Lewis, probably 30 metres out on a slight angle. Could this be the sealer for the Panthers?
Well, if they can get this one, I think it'll be all too much for Sherwood to come back from. This might be the moment. These last 2 shots at goal could be how this game kind of finishes.
15 points the margin might be too much of an ask for this gallant Magpies unit this afternoon. Lewis, right foot kick, but he's missed. So the margin back to 10 points. Still anyone's contest. You're going to have to keep a close eye on that clock, Hannah, because as the time ticks down, this could turn a bit crazy. Unfortunately, ball gets cut off by Hodge. Hodge launches the ball once more, but again, no one at home for the Panthers. And again, ends up in the hands of Cooper. Cooper kicks the ball out wide, hits his target.
Unfortunately, it's not the Panthers who need to be worried. Sherwood, we've hit 17 minutes now, and they've got to get 2 goals to bring this back. Is that impossible with the time?
Probably a good result. That kick, though, just rolled over the boundary line. Morningside had a couple of numbers there, couldn't get possession of the footy. 10 points the margin. Well, the old Lee Matthews adage, if there's less goals to kick than minutes to play, you're still in with a shot. Can Sherwood get some clean possession here? Here's a chance. They've got a free kick.
Well, they brought a rock back on. He's just come off the bench and he's free. He's screaming for it. And it'll go over.
Can that ball roll over the boundary line? No, it doesn't. Morningside keep the ball in. A rock almost smothers the ball. Lewis was there. Ball hits the deck. Tries to lay the tackle. No tackle laid. Ball drifting towards half forward. Oh, great effort there by the forward line of Sherwood. Locks the ball in once more for another stoppage right on 50 into attack for the Magpies. Massive ruck contest here. Hodge wins possession, but another stoppage. Ends up in the hands of Fletcher. Got wrapped up. Geez, how tired are these Sherwood players? Can they put one last effort here in the dying stages? Hacks the ball forward once more. No mark taken. Oh, great step. Weave, dodge. Ends up in the hands of Mitchell. Mitchell, left foot snap to the goal square. Oh, great mark on the last line of defence for the Panthers. Moving as slow as they possibly can, trying to kill time. Ball towards Hodge. Hodge couldn't take the mark. Here's a chance for the Magpies. Mitchell kicks towards goal. We're on the goal line. 3-on-1. Free kick. Free kick to the Magpies. Would you believe it?
And it all came from that huge boot from Luke Mitchell. I mean, he started in the back line and now he's assisting his team with their pretty much last attempts at getting back in this game.
Jeez, bully. Jeez, it was a 3-on-1 in favour of the Panthers. They didn't have to give the free kick away, but they went over the top, caught him high. Bully now. Right foot kick. Look at that. Game on, ladies and gentlemen. Game on. The margin back to 4 points.
And they've got probably under 10 minutes to do it. Well, that's plenty of time, isn't it?
Plenty of time. That is plenty of time.
And that is 20 minutes it's taken for either team to get a major in this quarter. That is the pressure that both sides are bringing. And it's those little errors, isn't it, that are making this game, you know, that free kick, and it's been both sides today.
No, you're definitely right there. It's 50-50 contests. Who can get on top from their direct opponent? Who wins possession? Who gets a shot on goal? But 4 points of margin. It's not a misprint, ladies and gentlemen. Can Sherwood get their first win of season 2023 Could have been a sling tackle. No free kick. Here's the pressure now from the Panthers. Who's going to win possession of the ball? Ends up in the hands of the Magpies at centre half back. Right on 50 going into attack for Morningside. 6-7, 43 to 6-11, 47. Sherwood now coming out defence. 1-on-1, a rock's out there. Great mark taken by a rock. He's got to try and move the ball quickly. Goes down the line. Bully ends up with it once more. Austin's down there. Easton's down there. Austin couldn't quite. Ball goes over the line for another boundary throw in.
It's a good result though for Sherwood.
Can
Just
they lock
keep
the
it in
ball
play.
in? Can they lock the ball in? That's the question. Either side can win this game this afternoon. Morningside hanging on for dear life. In front by 4 points. The Magpies desperately trying to get in front. That's Fletcher. Fletcher kicks the ball forward. Couldn't get clean possession of the footy though. That could be pushing the back. No free kick paid. Could be actually paid holding the ball. Umpire. What does he decide? Another stoppage. 45 out from Sherwood goal.
God, it's hard to remember to breathe in this quarter.
Oh, hot night to Fletcher. Fletcher, right foot snap. 2-on-1 in the goal square. No one can take possession of the footy. Austin has it. Ball hits the deck. They're trying to lock the ball up. Locked up once more. Another stoppage. This has been the longest week of my life. This is game 19, ladies and gents, that I've watched. That could be a free kick. And is. Is it Fletcher? And 50! And 50, ladies and gentlemen. The worst time to give some abuse to the umpire.
What a game this is going down as.
Leeds bully. It is bully, ladies and gents. Another 50-metre penalty. Bully. No pressure at all, ladies and gentlemen. It's got to kick the goal. Comes in now. One over goal umpire's hat. And would you believe it? The Magpies have got the lead by 2 points. This is game of the... I don't care what anyone says, Hannah. This has been game of the year.
And I'm so honoured that I could be here for this. You know, I've had a bit of hiatus from the QAFL and I'm back, and my goodness, I tend to call the close ones, don't I? And
jeez,
we're back.
I was trying to say, Hannah, I've been watching the under-16s and the 18s national champs all week. 19 games of footy, ladies and gentlemen. I've got leather poisoning to the eyes by the end of the week, but I tell you, the last game of the week for me, this is an absolute epic. Can Sherwood hang on? They get the clearance, kicks towards half forward. No one can take clean possession of footy. Look at the numbers though. This is Knight. Knight kicks towards the rock. But guess who? Leading out from full forward. Is this bully again? I believe it is. Jeez, he's almost hoping he's going to get another 50-metre penalty for him. Unfortunately, not the case on this occasion. Bully.
He'll have to kick it from a little bit further this time. Can he go 3 in a row?
I tell you what, look at that! That could be game, set, match for the Sherwood Magpies. First win of 2023. They move to an 8-point lead. We've got to keep an eye on that clock, Hannah. I'm not sure how long there is to go.
Well, Connor Bully, take a bow because 25 and a half minutes played. And I tell you what, Morningside are just counting down that clock, aren't they? Where's the energy gone from them? We've seen them have the edge just all day, but they are under pressure. They're looking at that scoreboard and possibly before they were just praying that they could run down the clock. Well, you can't do that in a game like this.
Jeez, you can't run the clock when you've got about 17 minutes to go and you're only 10 points up. The ball rolling around there. Look at that. Another clearance. That was Fletcher, I believe. Bit of a push in the back. No free kick paid. But it's in the right spot for the Magpies. I'm pretty sure Bully's kicked 4 goals this afternoon. He's been massive for the Magpies. Playing our full forward. We wondered who was going to stand up.
Well, who's here for Morningside? There's absolutely no one. McLeod tried to get to it.
McLeod has really been one out all afternoon, but McLeod's been playing on a wing, being asked to push to full forward, being the one man out.
And you know, Sherwood's defence has been relatively great all day, as Morningside just turned things over. McLeod runs with it, puts it on the boot.
There's a goal. McLeod, well, the margin, would you believe, ladies and gents, is back to 2 points. This is a crazy afternoon of QAFL football. Don't worry about Aspley. Don't worry about Redland. No one cares at this stage. It's all about Sherwood and Morningside in this absolute epic. And people might think I'm a bit critical there, but I'm starting to lose the plot. I'm getting a bit excited. Waiting for that siren to go. My voice is just about shot. Still, can Morningside?
Well, I think if anyone will bring it home, it's going to be this crowd here. The Sherwood Magpies staring down what will be their first win of the season in about 3 minutes potentially left.
Umpire comes in for another stoppage. Question is, does Sherwood have an extra behind the ball? Do Morningside try to get an extra number? Who's that free kick going to? It's going to Sherwood, ladies and gents, in the ruck contest. Decides to go out wide. Dangerous kick towards Radcliffe. He's been huge this afternoon at centre half back. The likes of Fletcher, Baker and Radcliffe have been massive for the Magpies. Decides to launch the ball down the line, 1-on-1. Good mark taken there by the Morningside defence. That was Nyland Rowe. He's been pretty good for the Panthers this afternoon. They've got to move the ball quickly though. Decides to go in board. Here they come now towards half forward. Radcliffe, great effort there. Gets tackled. Could have been high and is. No. That's Prest. Prest was another one who's been good on that half back line for the Magpies. Decides to go out wide.
29 minutes played here.
Free kick to Morningside. Didn't have to do it. Going inside 50 now to the hot spot. Gets back. Hacks the ball. This is Knight. Austin was there. Brought the ball to ground. This is Mitchell. Mitchell kicks around the corner. Gets cut off. That's Nolan Rowe once more. Goes into the corridor. Good mark taken. Austin just cutting down the space. Kicks the ball inside 50. 1-on-1. No mark taken. No free kick paid either. Ball rolling towards the line.
Where's the fat lady?
Where's the fat lady, says the crowd. Waiting for the fat lady to sing. 2 points the margin. The siren's got to go soon. 8-7-55 to 7-11-53. This will be a massive win for Sherwood, but a massive loss for Morningside. Who's going to come out on top? Sherwood pushes the ball out. Ends up in the hands of Nolan Rowe once more. Got to move the ball quickly, son. Kicks the ball to about 20 out. Who takes the mark? Mark paid.
If that's...
Fletcher, there's the siren! Can you believe it? The Magpies, first win on the board for season 2023. They've won by 2 points. 8-7-55 to 7-11-53. And Hannah, I'm exhausted.
Kane, I think you're not going to talk for the next 24 hours after this, because how incredible to witness Sherwood's first win. It took 15 rounds and a whole lot of guts. It took the home crowd, it took the Big Freeze fundraiser, and it took Connor Bully to kick 3 in a row for them in the 4th term. They kept Morningside majorless for 30 minutes, and boy, did they have plenty of attempts. Morningside kicked 4 goals, 5 goals in a row between that first and second quarter, and Connor Bully, assisted by a relentless Sherwood defence that just did not give up, gave them that opportunity to bring it back. 2-point win.
Goal umpires just waved the score off, so it's confirmed. Sherwood with their first win of season 2023. I'm losing the plot here at the moment, Hannah. I do apologise. Look, the best players for Sherwood, we'll go through it quickly. Fletcher was huge. I've loved Baker's game this afternoon. Number 3 had a ton of the footy, was so important that last quarter. Radcliffe, cross centre half back, taking intercept mark after intercept mark. Cooper was good. But Bully, 4 goals this afternoon. I'm going to have to give my 3 votes to Radcliffe though. Best on ground for me. Peake was good for Morningside. Hodge was good for Morningside. Cole was good with a couple of goals as well. But all the emphasis is on the Magpies this afternoon. Ladies and gents, we thank you for checking out round 15 QAFL action. Turns out to be match of the round between these two. Sherwood on top by 2 goals. Thank you, Hannah, for your contribution this afternoon. We'll join you for next week, hopefully, for round 16 QAFL action. We'll talk to you soon. Catch you later.
And after a stirring win like that, what better time for our boys. Red Black captain Abby Ashley.